Where today, talkSPORT understands that Arsenal do have the finances to make Vinicius Jr. their highest paid player. No direct talks have taken place with Real Madrid, but the Brazilian has been made an option at the Emirates this summer. Troy Deeney doesn't think it's a great fit.
I don't think it suits the way that Arsenal play. I don't think his personality suits Arteta.
What do you mean his personality?
I think he's a massive diva in regard to like what he wants, what he needs.
This, as we understand, Real Madrid have agreed a deal in principle for Yan Diomande, and PSG want £145 million for Bradley Barcola. And Xabi Alonso says he has a plan for Cole Palmer and Morgan Rogers. He admits while Chelsea are still building, he's pleased with the transfers so far.
Well, we want to build a competitive team. For sure, we are in that process. We have great quality, great talent, and we need to know what it takes to compete in the Premier League.
Get more at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
Teens on anxiety benefits are better off than part-time workers, and emergency crews in France say it's a race against time to stop a wildfire from reaching Bordeaux. Emma has more in half an hour.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. For a limited time only, get 10% off 2 or more selected premium tyres in our big summer sale. Visit quickfit.com and book today. Conditions apply.
Dry with sunny spells in the south. Northern areas see a few showers initially, then rain spreads east later on.
Anthony Joshua is on the road to destiny. But first, there is danger. Prenga, 20 wins, 20 knockouts. And AJ knows, one moment, one mistake, one punch will change history. AJ is back. But there is danger before destiny.
Welcome to it. It is mid-mornings on talkSPORT. It is White and Jordan, but it's without White and Jordan. It's holiday season, so those boys are enjoying themselves on a sun lounger somewhere. I'm Adam Catterall. Carlton Cole is alongside me for the morning, and you're more than welcome to come and join us. The telephone lines are well and truly open. There is lots to talk about. 03717 223344. Of course, we'll have all the fallout to Anthony Joshua getting out of jail against Christian Prenga at the weekend. I was in Saudi Arabia myself. You may have heard it on the talkSPORT broadcast. I've got a few views on it, and we are also going to be joined by various people to give their views as well. Paulie Malignaggi will be with us very, very shortly, and we'll be speaking to Matchroom CEO Frank Smith a little bit later on in the programme. We will be turning our attention, of course, towards the world of football. Arsenal being linked heavily with Vinicius Jr., and we're talking superstars in the Premier League. As well as that, Celtic are set to break the transfer record amid more fan backlash. Italian football is in a little bit of disarray, and is international management the final point of call for an elite manager? If you want to get involved with this morning's programme, you're more than welcome to do so. 03717 22 33 44. You're listening to talkSPORT. How are you, Captain?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good.
We haven't been together for quite a while, have we?
Yeah, well, do you know when the call came in? Obviously, do you fancy getting back on it? We call it 10 o'clock. I thought that we're back on a normal shift. I didn't.
Yeah, 10 to 10.
I didn't see the AM bit when they put the call in, mate.
I thought it was quite bizarre. I was like, I'm not sure about that. Not me and Kat in the morning. Surely not.
Well,
you need us as a nightcap.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, we're nightcaps.
Are you saying that we send people to sleep? That's not a good advertisement for this morning, mate.
Well, listen, mate. I know my place in this world, mate.
That's it.
Yeah,
we've all got our roles.
You've got our roles, but this is something different, out of the norm, and I'll take a little bit.
Well, like I said, holiday season, so kick back, relax, and if you want to get involved with this morning show, you're more than welcome to do so. 03717 223344. Obviously, I were in Saudi Arabia at the weekend. You sent me a text, didn't you, in the aftermath of all that?
I did.
Straight
I was confused.
Away. In fact, you were the first person to text me in the aftermath of Anthony Joshua coming through against Christian Prenga.
Yeah.
It buzzed in. I saw the captain's number. I had a look. What's he up to here now? There were emojis and all sorts in that text message. You were a bit confused with it, weren't you?
Mate, I was very confused.
What was your initial thought?
Well, for one, I was really confused by the performance in the first round by AJ.
Okay.
I felt that Prenga kind of put it on him, and he didn't respond well, AJ, and obviously hit the canvas twice.
Mm-hmm.
And you're thinking, oh, this is not the same AJ I know. Not confident. Then second half rocks up, and he wasn't even. Then Prenger didn't even push forward. So I was confused by that even. So I was thinking, well, if you smell boxers, when they smell blood, they go for the kill.
Yeah.
And he didn't. He foot off the gas.
Are you on the?
Bit like it's actually bit like England and Argentina.
Yeah, in the semi-final.
In the semi-finals of the World Cup. Like I'm thinking, go on then, finish them off, and then no, they went into defence mode and then got beat. And it didn't make no sense.
Are you in the conspiracy crew?
Oh, here we go.
There's a lot, mate. There's lots of it. People obviously do.
Oh, no, well, we know about Simon. Simon tweeted straight away.
Yeah.
And he says, "There's something going on here.
There's something
a bit dodgy."
He's gone full Scooby Doo on everybody, hasn't he?
You know what I mean? So it was a little bit weird, but listen, that's why I text you, because I know you're the professional and you were there. Yeah. So you would feel the vibes.
My personal take is that, listen, I'm not into the conspiracy theories. At the end of the day, Christian Prenger was brought in for a particular reason. Anthony Joshua's gone through a lot. This was a warm-up towards the super fight that everybody wants to see against Tyson Fury. He was brought in because he is of a certain level. He's not an elite heavyweight. The alarm is that first round. Anthony Joshua doesn't even get hit with anything majorly significant, and he's doing the dance. He's all over the place. I personally, when I'm looking at that fight, Prenger didn't know how to finish the fight. If you look at the shots that land on Anthony Joshua, there's no setup. There's no real elite amount of skill that Prenger has thrown his way. He's a heavy-handed kid. He's landed on him a couple of times. But in the moment when he's got Joshua there. It's right for the picking now. Go on, take him out. Change your life forever. I don't think he knew what to do, because what did he end up doing? He ends up winging away. He ends up wrestling him. He throws him around the ring a couple of times. And I think when he goes back to his stool after round number one, there's a massive adrenaline dump there, and he's thinking to himself, "Blimmin' heck, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm doing well, eh?
I'm smashing Anthony Joshua all over the gaff." Now, loads of people will look at it and go, well, the kid's got 20 knockouts in 20 wins. It's a padded record. He hasn't beaten anybody of any notice. This is it now. He's in the World Cup final, and he's been playing conference. You know what I mean? He's in there.
Can't believe it.
He absolutely can't believe it.
So do you think he was startled?
I just don't think he knew what to do in that particular moment. One man that might have a different opinion, and he's always got a sensational opinion, and I love speaking to him. He's Paulie Malignaggi, and he's given up a bit of time to come and join us on the show. Paulie, morning, mate. How are you?
Paulie.
Hey, guys. How are you? I'm on the way to Sydney Airport. I'm in Australia. I was working the Spence versus Zoo fight yesterday. So is my Wi-Fi okay? Is my server, you guys hear me okay? You guys hear me clearly?
Yeah, you're good.
Paulie, you don't need Wi-Fi, mate. You transcend across the internet, mate. You're here and you're ready to rock and roll.
Paulie, that beard's looking strong, mate. That beard's looking strong, mate. I don't remember you with a beard like that.
It's got a few grays in there, but
that's just wisdom, mate.
I'm trying to look like the mature type, you know.
Good man.
The grown type.
Listen, Paulie, obviously you were across a fight that had a big narrative for Errol Spence, obviously, at the weekend. We'll get into that in a minute, mate. What did you make of AJ's performance against Prenger and the conspiracy theories that have come off the back of it?
Yeah, Adam, I was listening to you guys speak, and listen, I've always been I've always felt AJ is one of the most entertaining fighters in the sport. He's been a guy who's carried the sport on his back in some ways in this generation. He's been one of the big names that has made boxing so big in his generation. So I think he's got to be given a lot of credit for that. And for that reason, you know, I do have a soft spot for AJ. But as you said, you're not into conspiracy theories. I am into conspiracy theories. Okay, Christian Prenger may not have the experience. He may not have anything, but he's also not. How do I put this in a politically correct way? He's not mentally disassembled either. Okay, it doesn't take a genius. You don't have to be a Mensa to know that when you hurt a guy, you don't have to be a Mensa to know when you hurt a guy, you got to throw punches. Especially that he threw all the punches in the first round. You know what I mean? He didn't throw any set of punches. You're 100% right. He didn't throw any set of punches. He landed all the bombs he threw. He even was intelligent enough to use a little bit of a foul move in the first knockdown. He grabs AJ by the back of the neck and holds him in place for the uppercut. So he's not totally incompetent here. You know, this is a guy that does know how to fight a little bit, even if he's inexperienced and all this other stuff. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you don't have to be a Mensa to know that you were throwing punches and it worked. So you just keep throwing punches. You know, I mean, I don't understand where the stoppage in throwing punches happened. Either way, a guy like AJ who's been at world class, say what you want about a guy who like AJ who's been at world class, he may not be world class now, whatever your opinion is, he's been at world class. He knows that as soon as you give him a moment, you give him a little bit of daylight to get back in the fight, he will take that because he is a world class operator in his mind, even if physically he may not be the same. So obviously once Prenga did not go into attack mode, what did AJ do? He started getting his lead hand busy and he set up the right hands that eventually ended the fight. And of course Prenga is what he is, low level of opposition. Once he's getting hit by a guy like AJ, it's going to change his life around in the wrong way, in a negative way. Now he's going to be like, wow, this hurts and I'm going down, you know? So I do have a little bit of weirdness. Once at first I watched it after I worked the Spence fight and I was like, okay, interesting fight, whatever. But then when I thought about it, I'm like, this is really, really strange that a guy who was throwing the punches he needed to throw in round one and got the result he wanted in round one just suddenly hit the pause button and didn't do anything to start out round two. It didn't make any sense to me.
What do you think happened then, Paulie? What do you think happened?
That was the biting point, wasn't it?
Yeah, could he have just making a mistake in that moment? Could he have overthought it?
What do I think happened, or what do I? Okay, I mean, okay, what do I think happened? I mean, it's not necessarily what I think happened, but I got to put the thought out there at least. You know, there is a lot of money riding on AJ and Fury. There's a lot of money on AJ and Fury. Everybody makes a lot of money, including the fighters, but not just the fighters. A lot of powerful people make a lot of money if you make AJ versus Fury. So is it possible that somebody whispered into the Prenga corner? Is it? I'm just giving a conspiracy theory to you. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger.
This is what we want to hear, Paulie. This is what we want to hear.
It's funny. These things. It's funny. These things sound outlandish until they come to light. If sometimes you get caught and it comes to light. I'm not saying this is what happened, but from the way it looked, possibly somebody went into the Prenga corner and said, "Hey, man, listen, you've never made any real money in your life. You know, if you go easy in the second round and then let us make our money, maybe we'll throw you $100,000 extra or something. Whatever it is that he made. You know, I don't know. Listen, it could be nothing. It could be that.
That's a hell of a conversation, a long conversation to have.
The thing is until you get caught, it's always conspiracy until you get caught, right? So and sometimes you get caught, sometimes you don't. Whatever. I'm just saying it's a possibility. I'm not saying it's necessarily what I believe.
Okay.
I mean, it's certainly in my mind. It's certainly something I'm thinking about because I'm still trying to come to terms. I'm still trying to come to terms with a guy who was throwing a bunch of punches and landed them and hurt his opponent. And all of a sudden, just decided to hit the pause button and say, you know what, I'm not gonna throw any punches in round two.
Weird.
You know, I don't want to win this fight. I don't know. It was weird. And like I said, AJ at the end of the day, you give him a little bit of daylight, he's gonna take the win. He's gonna come get you because he's still at the end of the day, even if he's not physically the same AJ, he's mentally the same AJ. He knows how to go get a win.
Where are you at with the AJ Fury fight now? Because obviously Fury fought on Friday night and didn't look his amazing best.
I mean, listen, both are past their primes. It's a fight that, is going to generate a lot of money, is going to generate a lot of attention. They were the two men of the hour for a bit in the heavyweight division, and both happen to be from England. So in the UK, it's humongous. I get it. I get the whole thing. You know what I mean? I understand the whole thing and why you have to make this fight. I get it. I'm intrigued. I'm interested. It's just, when you got to jump through too many hoops to make this happen, is it a money grab or is it entertainment or is it a money grab? That starts to become my question.
Yeah.
Do you still want to see it, Paulie?
Listen, if you put it on, I'll watch. I'm a former fighter myself. I'm a huge boxing fan. What am I? You're not going to turn it on? And I like both guys. I do like AJ. I do like Fury. I'm happy to see guys like that be successful because.
Oh, we lost him on the Wi-Fi. We lost him on the Wi-Fi just as he was in full floor.
But he's making sense.
See, no, it makes sense if you want. Well,
that's a boxing man.
I'm not saying it's not a boxing man.
That's a boxing man. I'm gonna have to go with what he's saying.
Paulie,
he's not saying it, but he's saying it.
Paulie has forgotten more about boxing than any of us were most. In fact, he's back right now. Go on, Paulie, as you were saying regarding the fight.
Yeah, I was saying, I'm really, really supportive of both guys because I really feel like the sport owes guys like this a debt of gratitude as well. So they've carried the sport on their back. They've done great things for the sport, and in their generation, they were some of the biggest names that brought a lot of crowds to the sport and brought a lot of attention to the sport. So guys like this, I do think the sport owes a debt of gratitude to. So of course, I'm going to watch it. And I'm going to support both of them, and I want to watch it. But again, I just don't want it to become just a money grab, and that's where the question marks come into play. But if you make the fight, what am I not going to watch it? Of course I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
Listen, you're in the back of a taxi in Sydney and you've just convinced the whole of the UK that there's something dodgy about this fight on Saturday night, mate. I'm going to be taking calls now for the whole morning.
Well, Paulie.
Cheers, pal. Thank you very much, mate.
Cheers, guys. I'll see you later.
See you later.
You're going to be on the front pages tomorrow, innit?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Two-weight world champion, Paulie Malignaggi joining us from Sydney. He was obviously in attendance for Tim Zhu doing the business against Errol Spence. Errol Spence retiring off the back of that fight.
Does he have a point? Does he have a point?
I can understand why people think like that. I can completely understand, because boxing has a history of being a bit bent. I mean, we could take it all the way back to the mob, way back when things like this did happen. So I can fully understand when Paulie frames it in the way that he has just framed it. I can understand why people go, yeah, absolutely, that's what happened. Or maybe we can frame it a different way, where Christian Prenger's not that good.
Yeah.
He got himself in a situation and he didn't know what to do in that situation. He allowed AJ to breathe a little bit and get himself his legs back under him and his head back around him. And then AJ, as Paulie rightfully just pointed out, if you give AJ enough rope, he's going to go and hang you with it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, of course. No, I understand that. But it's the biting point, what me and him are talking about. What happened when he went to a corner? And what was the conversation from his team?
Can he not just have an adrenaline dump?
No.
You reckon someone said to him, "Oi, what you doing, son?"
So apparently, all his knockouts, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, have been in the second round. Most of his knockouts, majority of Prenger's knockouts have been in the second round. So initially he knows he can knock him out in the second round, because he's been doing that to other opponents.
You're doing boxing maths now. It doesn't work.
Okay, then. Well,
he's never been at that level.
Okay, you're the pro.
He's never been at that level.
At that level. But his thing in his head is like, I usually get this done in the second round. That's all he knows. So why would he revert back to anything he doesn't know?
Because he's on a different level. He's been knocking people out at conference level. This is now World Cup level.
What, in the second round? So he's been doing that in the second round? In the conference? In the conference.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's... Why would you change your tricks just because you're coming up against someone
because
that's better?
Because the dude comes out and whacks him with a jab right down the middle and he goes, "Bumming, that's a little bit odd."
And then he reverts into defence?
Yes.
Okay. All right, fair enough. I didn't know. I was just asking the question. Hey?
Listen, I can see
I'm just asking the question. You're teaching me. No. I'm not a boxing expert.
Mate, I'm not teaching anybody. Paulie Malignaggi obviously said what he said. And look at the text coming in. Absolutely loads of text coming in. We're going, yeah, Paulie's right. It stinks. It's fixed.
Are we going with this?
But, mate, we're going to have to. 03717 22 What are your thoughts on it? Does it stink? Was it fixed? Get in contact with the programme. We'll be speaking to Matchroom CEO a little bit later on. Frank Smith will be on the show regarding that. Now, as you know, Commonwealth Games is currently going on at the moment. John Cushing's across it for talkSPORT. John, what's the latest, my man?
Yeah, day 4 of the Games, the most competitive day with 8 sports in action. You've been talking about boxing, obviously. There are 12 home nation boxers all vying for a fight. If they win that, they've got a chance of a medal in the days to come. So the lunchtime action starts at the SEC at 12. More this evening. It's going to be a great day of boxing for England, Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales. Welcome to Glasgow in summer. It is raining here. I'm on my way to the athletics as we speak. England's Georgia Hunter-Bell, who won a silver at the World Championship, starts her 800-metre campaign tonight against gold medalist Lillian Adira of Kenya. People say there isn't world-class athletics going on here. That is a world-class matchup. We've got the first round coming up tonight. This morning we've got the men's 100 metres and the women's 100-metre heats, which I'm looking forward to seeing Jeremiah Azu of Wales. And back in the gymnastics, Reuben Ward, who won the men's all-round title, Scotland's first ever gold medal in that event. He's back in action in 2 finals this afternoon. And there's more swimming to come as well. It's all happening. The Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games live across the talkSPORT network.
Commonwealth Games update on talkSPORT with BYD. Dare to dream with BYD and the Commonwealth Games.
James, thank you very much for your text, mate. These people do realise that fixing a boxing match is illegal. Yes, mate. Yes. That's why I'm adamant that it didn't happen, my friend. But listen, I think me and you, James, are in the minority. Everybody's all over us, pal. 03717 22 Here's the flip on the conversation as well as obviously giving me your opinion on what you think actually happened on Saturday night and why there was a changing of the tide going into that second round. Is there an appetite still for AJ versus Fury? Given what you've seen at the weekend, I know that we only saw clips of Tyson Fury doing his thing against Mariusz Vach on Friday night. He didn't look at his scintillating best, but my caveat to that is that he didn't look at his scintillating best against Pianetta. Then he went and boxed the ears off Deontay Wilder on 3 separate occasions. So he's got that in his back pocket, hasn't he, Tyson Fury? Where are you at with it? Do you still have the appetite to see Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, even though it's, 6-7 years past its sell-by date? Is there still an appetite for it? 03717 22 33 44. Get in contact with the show.
I think United want to move on. He's obviously on a hefty wage. I'm amazed Saudi haven't come in. I'm amazed he hasn't gone out to Saudi.
I think he won it.
Again, Saudi pay a lot more than 300 grand a week for a player obviously who's playing for England and still in his prime. Yeah. I'm very surprised Barcelona didn't do the deal. But then again, I expected him to do well at Barcelona. Most, average wingers would do well out there, the team they have. I don't know where he goes. If you were a Spurs, would you go for him?
That's the one that keeps nagging away in the back of my mind.
We'll take him for a loan.
Yeah.
And if he plays 23 games, you know what I mean, we'll obviously pay this fee and that fee. What United are going to have to probably end up doing is recuperating as much of that fee back and all the loan fees they've had the last 2 seasons and the next 2 seasons. So I'm thinking Spurs. They've got a few more experienced Premier League players they've signed.
And De Zerbi's the type of manager that feels he can.
I'm not sure
he feels he can fix players.
I'm not sure he'd put up with.
Really?
And then you'd worry about the London life, wouldn't you? So
yes, you would.
There's all those things. Rashford is incredibly talented, and you look at him and go, what are you doing with your career? You should be dominating. You should be dominating world
Even
football.
that World Cup, he comes on, doesn't he, the first game, scores a brilliant goal against Croatia, arguably England's best performance in that second
I agree.
half. He played a part of that. Starts the next game,
Sinks
the place out, and then never really gets his place back. Anthony Gordon becomes de facto left winger, not just for England, but at Barcelona as well.
And the place was there because Gordon wasn't good in game one, and it was there to be won. And you just look at Rashford and you go, you've got all the tangibles to be world class. What is the matter with you? But again, I would say he's been on nearly £500,000 a week for the last, since he's 23? Is it again too much too soon?
Anthony Joshua is on the road to destiny. But first, there is danger. Prenga, 20 wins, 20 knockouts. And AJ knows, one moment, one mistake, one punch will change history. AJ is back. But there is danger before destiny.
You listen to Mid Mornings on talkSPORT. It's normally White and Jordan. They're on their holidays, enjoying themselves. I'm Adam Catterall. Can't call is alongside me. We'll get stuck into a little bit of boxing from the weekend. Of course, we're going to be talking about football as well throughout the course of the morning. You're more than welcome to come and join us. 03717 22 3344. Given you what you've seen over the weekend with Anthony Joshua's performance against Christian Prenga and what you've seen of Tyson Fury's recent performances, one against Makhmudov and, of course, what he did at the weekend against Marius White. Can't really judge that because obviously it wasn't broadcast and there's really only clips available of that. Is there still an appetite for AJ versus Fury? Coley, you're into this, man. This is the type of fight that would normally get you buzzing, get you texting me, get you excited. Is the appetite still there for you?
No, it's not.
Not at all.
Listen, I'll watch it. Don't get me wrong. I'm with Paulie on this.
I know. I knew you'd be with Paulie.
Yeah, because
it was a mistake giving him a ring, right?
But I said this off air. I did say it.
You did.
Like, listen, I love AJ. I love Fury. I love what they've done for the sport. But I just think it's 10 years too late. The boat, you say over the hill. Like, they're not at their peak.
Yeah, it's past its sell-by date, mate.
So
this is not 2018, 2019.
So, yeah, but I've got to be careful what I say here because...
Why?
Because I'm no boxing expert. I don't like... Do you know what I mean? I just see what I see.
I'll say what I see.
So I look at it, I think I'm a bit worried for AJ.
Yep.
Because how easily he was knocked to the floor. But then I can be another conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
I've got another one where he set it up to go down early, to get in Fury's head, to say, I can go down early.
You think he's gone full Usyk on this? He's trying to con people into...
into thinking I'm weak, and then come out in the second round and do the business.
You think he's done it on purpose?
Maybe.
Mate, what is going on with this show today?
Mate, maybe. Because
you think he's hit the deck on purpose?
I'm trying to make sense of it.
Bro, just, your eyes are not lying to you, right?
Well, it could be. It could be. Could be showing me something there, and then they're doing something else. Right, it's a magic trick.
Let's get.
You know what I mean?
Let's get to these phone lines. Alan's waiting to speak on the show. Alan, welcome to the show, mate. How are you?
Good morning, lads. Yes, very, very good. About Joshua.
Go on, mate.
The fight of weekend, perhaps I didn't even bother to watch it. It's farce, isn't it? And as for him and Fury, I tell you, if they was fighting in my back garden, I'd draw the curtains.
Oh, wow.
Oh, come on, man.
Come on, you're better than that.
Are you telling me you wouldn't even have a peek through those curtains? Just a little look?
You draw the curtains.
I'd say it was them two idiots out there and close them tight. I can't be doing with it. I've followed boxing since... I'm 67. I've followed
Alan, man. You're better than that, Alan. Come on. You weren't drawing the curtain.
No, I'm better than that, yeah, but I can't say... Anthony Joshua, he's done what he's done, but let's face it, he's no world beater, is he? He went down like a pot of jelly against that little fat Mexican. And, you know, whenever he steps up, he won the title against the worst champion ever in Charles Martin. Now, come on, you know, he fought an aging Klitschko, right? Whenever he steps up, he gets knocked out by Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois gets scored. I went to see Joshua against the champion, you know, what's his name, Usyk, at White Hart Lane. And Usyk absolutely schooled him. And, you know, we're looking at two fights.
Yeah, but Usyk does that with everyone, Al. Usyk is the best of this generation. He does that with everybody. Yeah. Anthony Joshua's been in the most amount of heavyweight world title fights of this generation, mate.
Yes, but poor world title fights.
But he can only do what's put in front of him. I mean, this generation hasn't been the generation of the 1990s or the 1970s, has it?
No, you're 100% right. He can only do what's put in front of him. They put Tyson Fury in front of him 7-8 years ago, and Eddie Hearn turned it down, didn't want to know. See, I follow boxing. I follow the insights of boxing. I'm a connoisseur. I followed the old days, Conte, Ali, all the way back.
Yeah.
And Joshua's just didn't want to know Tyson. Now they're aging. He looks at Tyson Fury and he thinks he couldn't knock the top of an egg off. He thinks, I'll go in with him now. I'll have some of that. But Fury would have fought him years ago because Fury don't duck people. He's fought Wilder. No one, but Joshua never went anywhere near Wilder when Wilder was in his prime. He thought, I'm not having none of that.
Mate.
You know, it's just a farce. And they con people because a lot of people that go to boxing are not real boxing fans. They go to the event because it's a big, you know, some people go, they don't even watch it. They're on their phones. You know, I followed boxing since I was 13, 14. I stood on the edge of my bed listening to Ali beat Foreman Rumble in the Jungle with my dad and my brother. So, you know, I go back a long while. I've seen amateur fights. I've seen, you know, some of the great fighters. Ricky Hatton win the world title in Manchester. Proper fighters. And these two fighting now, to me, as I said, they fought them at back garden. I draw the curtains. I'm not interested. I certainly wouldn't pay for it.
Top man, Al. Thanks for being on the show there. I think he's been a bit harsh regarding the politics and the way that the negotiations of this fight have been over the last 10 years. I think there's a lot of flaws on both sides. It's not
what happened. What happened? Mate, why couldn't this have happened 10 years earlier?
There's been plenty of
Was
opportunity.
it dodging? Anyone dodging?
Yeah, there's been plenty of opportunity over the years that this fight could have happened. And if everybody remembers properly, off the back of the second Tyson Fury victory over Deontay Wilder, they were heading towards fighting each other. So we're talking, 2018, 2019, I think 2020, maybe in around that time. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua were supposed to be fighting each other, but then legal kicked in and Deontay Wilder forced the third fight with Tyson Fury. That's why. So it was nothing to do with Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua pushed towards that fight. His team pushed towards that fight. I believe that he actually signed for that fight. But because of arbitration, the fight went off in a different direction and Tyson Fury was obligated to then go and fight against Deontay Wilder for a third time. Listen, great fight. We all enjoyed the third fight between him and Deontay Wilder. It was great, but we missed out on Anthony Joshua at that point. But it wasn't Anthony Joshua's fault. Anthony Joshua didn't duck him at that particular time. He was ready to rock and roll. And I'm sure Tyson Fury would have been ready to rock and roll as well, but legal things kicked in. Listen, keep your calls coming. 03717 22 3344. Sam, I can see you waiting, mate. I'm going to get you on the radio in a minute. Don't go anywhere.
About Tottenham now. It's a big conversation because obviously it's about trophy wins, European Cups, all of those sort of things come into it. But in the modern world, it also comes down to support base. Money is so much involved, and Spurs are a big club, full stop. Of course, we're above someone like West Ham. We have got more support.
He had you above West Ham
globally. Well, I know, but he was almost fighting with that. You could also look at a support point of view globally. We would make Chelsea look tiny. They have had more recent success. Facts, have had more success. But we also got to think about Tottenham history. First team to do a domestic double. First team to win the European Cup. We have history that can't be ignored in the same way that Aston Villa.
Without being pedantic, people will be shouting at the radio, European Cup, not the European Cup.
A European Cup, yes, apologies.
That's all right.
And so I think that history is important, it really, really is. And I don't want to sound like I'm banging on about the past. We know what we've been. I'm a realistic Tottenham fan, I've seen it. Arsenal are a big club. Hate saying it, they're a big club. Bigger than us. I've got to say that as well, and that's going to upset people.
Rich, could you do me a favour then? You rate them 1 to 4 first.
It'd have to be Arsenal.
Okay.
Gives me the up, but there you go.
Then who?
And you're not. It's controversial. I'm going to put us above Chelsea and then West Ham at the bottom.
You think Spurs are bigger than Chelsea?
As a club, as a supporting club, and all internationally supported, and all their clubs, 100%, yes, and history.
talkSPORT News.
Good morning. With your latest news headlines, I'm Emma Smith. Teenagers claiming sickness benefits for anxiety are getting £100 a week more than those working a part-time minimum wage job. That's according to The Times this morning, with Minister Hamish Falconer warning he's concerned by the rising numbers.
I do know that there are an increasing number of young people on PIP, and what really worries me, when young people don't get into work early in their life, it often gets much harder to get into work later in life.
Emergency crews in France say it's a race against time to stop a wildfire reaching Bordeaux. The blaze is now just 7 miles from the city. More than 360,000 people have been forced to leave their homes across both France and Spain. And the wildfire threat isn't just over there. The UK is heading for more wildfires as another heatwave arrives. It could get up to 32 degrees in southern England by Wednesday. It comes after 3 people died in separate sea incidents yesterday. We're being urged to take care around the water. Here's Ben King from the London Fire Brigade.
We've seen young people coming away thinking it's a brilliant idea to jump off bridges into the water. We get why they think it's fun, but you've just got to be really aware of the dangers. You don't know what's underneath you when you land in.
And wildlife presenter and comedian Bill Oddie has died aged 85. His agent has paid tribute to the intelligence and wit of Britain's best-loved birder.
talkSPORT Sports Headlines with Bostik. For workable, easy-to-apply mortar that tools easily, pros trust Bostik.
Infantino tells World Cup haters to meditate and pray, and we understand finances won't be a problem for Arsenal if they go for Vinny Jr. Tom has more at 11.
Anthony Joshua is on the road to destiny. But first, there is danger. Prenga, 20 wins, 20 knockouts. And AJ knows, one moment, one mistake, one punch will change history. AJ is back. But there is danger before destiny.
It's White and Jordan on a Monday morning, mid-mornings here on talkSPORT. But I'm sure you can tell with these dulcet tones, this is not Jim White. My name's Adam Catterall. It is a pleasure to be with you. Carlton Cole is alongside me. My 9-year-old daughter's listening to us.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. She's on to me. She said, Dad, half an hour of boxing. Come on, man. Move on. Let's talk about netball. Yeah.
I'll tell you as, text me.
Go on.
My old mucker. Wally Downs, Crazy Gang, Vinnie Jones and all that.
Yep, what's he saying?
He says...
Is he on the conspiracy with you?
I'm not sure. He goes, listen, Hearn picked Andy Ruiz.
Yeah.
Hearn picked Prenger.
Yeah.
He's an accountant.
Ah. See, that's kind of what I was saying.
He's an accountant.
He was a picked
He goes, AJ boxed an unknown, unproven puncher, starving, hungry, and nothing to lose, whose only chance to rush early because he can sell tickets already. He'll be signed to Hearn soon as well.
Yeah, he probably will be. Just for my daughter, on the netball, just for everybody, Commonwealth Games today, England are playing Malawi in the netball. There you go. There's your netball update, as she was asking for that a little bit earlier on this morning. Now, let's get back to the phone line, shall we? Sam's been waiting for us. Sam, morning, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. How's it going? You all right?
Yeah, sweet, good, pal. Sam. Right, come on, mate. Let's get stuck into some of this boxing. What do you want to say, pal?
Well, it's a shambles. I mean, how anyone could think it's anything other than a victim's a joke, really. Like, your eyes saw what you saw, like, you know.
Yeah, but that's right. Give me the facts. Give me the facts where it's an absolute fix.
Like, when AJ's been hit, like, he's been down before, and he was literally, like, his legs are going all funny. He's like, oh, my God. Like, if you're Prenger and you see someone that good go down like that, your eyes light up, you see money, you see, like, oh, my God, my name's going to be in the... Excuse my language, sorry. But yeah, like, obviously, I think he's seen that and he's gone, no, I'm going to get paid more money to just
go the other way.
In what moment has he thought that? Because first round, when he obviously grabs the back of his neck, lands that little kind of a nothing uppercut and puts AJ down, he goes for it. He starts throwing punches. He's all over him. So at what point?
I think even in the first, after he's put him down, like, he's holding his guard up, he's backing up onto the ropes in the first round, he's allowing AJ onto him. He's like, oh, God, I've hurt him now. I don't really want to actually do any more anymore.
Do you honestly think he's thinking that?
Honestly, like, literally after he puts him down in the first round, he backs off a bit and he goes to the ropes and he's putting his guard up. If you hit him down like that, you're following up. It doesn't take, like, a genius to, like, you know, if other people say, like Paulie's saying, like Carl said, it doesn't take a genius to work that one out. He's gone down, you're going to go in and start throwing hands. Yep. Whether you're a good fighter or you're a bad fighter, you're going to start throwing hands, and you're going to put AJ down because anyone could have in that moment. He's literally stumbling, he can't even hold his own weight. Like, you know.
Look, and to protect yourself, as well, you would go for the kill. You would, to protect yourself, so you don't want him coming back. So you're in the ring. Listen, as you say, you don't play boxing.
Yeah.
So it's life and death.
Are you saying that he didn't go for it in the first round?
No, because
you're saying he didn't go for it.
Well, I'm not saying he.
Yeah, but you watched it. Did he go for it in the first round?
Prenger, yeah, he did.
Right.
And then something happened.
He gassed himself out, mate. He had an adrenaline dump. What do you mean, no?
There's not enough. There was not enough. He ain't that unfit. He ain't that. It's not like me getting in the ring and puffing out after 30 seconds.
Listen,
do you know what I mean?
He's not.
This geezer has trained for this.
He's not an elite heavyweight.
But he's trained for it, so he can't be... It's the first round.
Mate.
How can he run out of gas in the first round? I'm not having that.
Because he's just opened all his
me and you, that's not been training. We've been down to the David Lloyds in a little bit, yeah? But I'm telling you, we could get past the first round and not gas out.
Mate,
even if I have to run around a little bit.
The fella has just opened all his Christmas presents at once in the first round, right?
No, I'm not having that.
He's had a massive adrenaline dump.
No,
I'm telling you.
No, I'm not having that. There's no way. He is a professional athlete.
So what are you saying? At the end of the first round, what? He's gone back to his round. He's gone back to his corner, and they've said, "Oi, calm down."
So he might be fit. He might have been given this option at the start. Right?
Mate, stop this. This is how much
it's more lucrative. Wait.
This is how much faith people have lost in boxing.
It's more lucrative, yeah. For me,
how is it more lucrative? He's about to knock out Anthony Joshua. How's it more lucrative?
It's more lucrative for me to get knocked out than me knock out AJ.
Mate.
It's more lucrative for me to get knocked out than me knock out AJ. Well, I'm just saying. Because that's what the majority of people are saying.
Listen, I knew that you were feeling this, right? That's why Paulie came on the show early doors, right? He's jacked you up now, hasn't he?
No, he ain't.
Yeah.
No. I'm the majority of people. This is what the people are saying.
You are the majority of people. This is what people are thinking. Tim, how are you, mate?
And I love AJ.
I'm good, mate.
Come on, Tim.
Great show.
Come on, Tim.
My theory is that the end of that first round was the first time he had a proper hit off AJ on that hook right on the bow.
Correct.
And I think he's gone back to his stool. And obviously, like you're saying, he's fighting Conference League. He's never been hit by a Premier League fighter before. And I think that's what made him go defensive in the second round. Because he didn't want to fancy another one of them because he was open to that whole fight. But AJ was, like you say, he rocked him. So
yeah,
I think personally that was the first hit that he took of that caliber.
Listen,
maybe he liked it.
Well, hang on a minute. When I say it, why do you scream and shout at me?
I'm open to
and then Tim comes on and you're going, Tim, actually, you might be right there, mate. You might be bang on.
Listen. You've got a dog in the race, mate. Like,
I ain't got no dogs in the race.
You have, mate.
Listen,
you're trying to protect the integrity of your sport,
right?
Yeah. So
you're telling me it's bent,
mate. Listen, you know, like when you talk about football, yeah. And then I see certain things. I think,
all right, then that semi-final, England World Cup. Yeah, something's up there, mate. Something's up there.
Could be.
England had it. Why did they change the tactics?
We got Gianni at the top.
Why did they go back? Why did they go backwards?
We got Gianni at the top. Anything could happen. You know what I mean? Things have changed.
I agree with what Tim
Money
said
runs
there.
the world now. Money runs the world.
As Tim was just saying there, right?
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that exactly what Tim just said is the case. He's felt a bit of AJ's power at the end of that first round. He's gone back to his corner. He's had a little bit of a chat with his
telling me he's never been hit?
Not like that. No.
Even in sparring.
Not, mate, no.
No?
I'm telling you.
That's the first time he's ever been hit.
Listen,
like
this guy has been handpicked. As your man just told, as well as just told you there.
Yep.
This man has been handpicked for this moment. This was AJ going through the process of a fight week to make sure he can come out with all the ticks at the back end of it.
Yeah.
Prenga was brought in for this moment
Yeah.
because if AJ does get in a little bit of trouble, this fella doesn't know what to do in that moment.
Okay. I can understand that.
So that's why Prenga's here. I think Tim's bang on, right? At the end of that first round, he's felt a little bit of AJ's power.
Yeah.
He's gone back to his corner. Let's have a bit of a breather. Right, same again. If you look at the first exchange of the second round, Prenga goes for it. He jumps in, he throws a big right hand, AJ sees it coming, he blocks it.
Yeah.
Then AJ sticks a jab right down the middle and Prenga goes, ooh, that were a bit stiff.
Yeah. I've never been like this before.
Now, if anybody's ever been in this situation, even if it's just a sparring scenario, right? If you've been hit on the end of your nose, your eyes will water a little bit, you'll start to think a little bit, you'll give off a sign.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua's an elite guy.
Yeah,
he's an elite guy. He's stuck the jab down him. He's gone, he didn't like that jab. I'll give him another one. Bang.
Yeah.
Oh, he definitely doesn't like this jab. I'll keep giving him this jab. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, just naturally, he starts to go backwards.
So what you're saying is when he come out, he got hit with a sneaky one, right? And that made him think again, rethink his...
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'm all right with that.
If you look at the first exchange of the second round,
listen,
Prenga throws the right hand. He goes to do it.
Yeah. I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that.
You're happy with that?
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
What do you say, Mohammed? How are you, mate?
Mate, I'm okay. How are you guys? You?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm trying to defend boxing here, pal, but
I'm just trying to explain
I'm
it.
unsuccessful at the moment. Go on, you go for it, mate.
I'm trying to explain it.
I am explaining, but like most boxing fans, AJ, if people cared about AJ, like Hearn and his team, they would pull him out because his punch resistance gone. And psychologically, what affected him in that car crash, I don't think mentally he's all there. And Tyson Fury looked shocking on Friday night. His conditioning, his physique, he looked shocking. So he should not be. It's basically a big money grab, this fight. That's what it is.
Okay.
Both of them are well past their prime. This should have happened in 2018-19 when they were both heavyweight champions. It would have been undisputed. It would have been the biggest fight this country's ever seen. But now they're both past their prime. They both look shocking. Look at Errol Spencer on Saturday when he went to Sydney to fight Tim Tszyu.
Yeah.
He looked shocking. And straight after the fight, he realized he hasn't got it no more. His reflex is gone. He announced his retirement. That is a generation great who decided he hadn't got it no more and retired. These two now should retire and enjoy their millions and ride off to the sunset because they're fooling the fans. That's what they're doing. Just one, and to have it in New York and in America, it's just a big.
So what do you feel? What do you really feel about that part? Because it's supposed to be for the fans, isn't it? So
that's what I'm saying.
So we get to this part. Yeah, go on.
Exactly. If it was for the fans, it should be in the UK.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let the fans pay their big money to come see the last dance. But to have it in America as well, that is just saying.
Yeah, but Mohammed, listen, Mohammed, you're not daft. You know the score here, pal. At the end of the day, we've had 10 years to make the fight. British promoters have had 10 years to make the fight, and they haven't managed to do that. Now, the guy from Saudi Arabia's come along with the pot of cash, so therefore he's in charge, and therefore where he wants this fight to go, that's where it's going to go. What's his main objective? His main objective...
Make money.
Is to, well, I think it's to get eyes of the world on Saudi Arabia and how much it is changing the landscape of boxing, but also he's now changing the landscape and the demographics of what's happening over in America, and I think that is the main focus. So therefore, he wants to take a fight that captures the imagination of fight fans over to the States. I don't know even if it does. I don't know if Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua does appeal to an American audience.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it only appeals really here in the UK.
So that means we'll have to catch a flight to go and see a fight that belongs
here. 2 o'clock in the morning, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have to catch a flight to see a fight that belongs over here, over in America. So we got to give America our money, basically, to watch this fight that we're trying to.
What do you mean, give America more money? The guy from Turkey Al Sheikh's paying for it.
Yeah, but we've got to go buy the tickets. But we've got to go and buy the tickets to go over to America. So we've got to.
You don't have to if you don't want to. If you're not into it.
Well, that's. Listen, for me, I look at it and think, I just want to catch a bus to Wembley, mate. I don't want to get on a plane. I don't want to get on a plane.
I want to get on the Jubilee line.
You know what I mean? I don't want to get on a plane.
I get what you're saying. Mohammed actually brings up a really good point there, of which I want to touch upon a little bit later on in the programme. And this is a thought for all boxing fans regarding a duty of care, right? It is evident that Anthony Joshua, there's something not right. Whether it be post-fight when he's doing his interviews and whatever, you can see the emotion. You can see all the things that guy is bottling up, everything that he's been through over the last 9 months. You can see it there. Obviously, from a physical point of view, you can see the performance and people can make their own judgments off the back of that. Should he be boxing? That's the question. We can all make our own judgments. We can all look at it that way. For me, there is no better place than martial arts, boxing, for discipline, for structure, for fitness, for routine. All these things are absolutely fantastic, but it's a very dangerous and lonely place to be if you're not in the right frame of mind. As a fan watching it, it was an uncomfortable watch at the weekend. Where are you at with it? Should Anthony Joshua be in the ring? And should people around him, the people that care for him, his mates, his promoters, his managers, all these people, should they be putting an arm around him, having a word with him and saying, listen, mate, you don't have to do this. Just take a little bit of a breath. Your well-being's first and foremost what everybody should be concentrating on, and let's get you back to being yourself again.
Was this a start for him, though? Because you could say that, but was this a rebirth?
Maybe. Listen.
Was this a rebirth?
Maybe. That's the discussion. 03717 223344. We're going to be speaking to Alex Crook in a minute because we're going to change our tack. We're going to go down the route of football, but we will be back on the boxing a little bit later on in the programme, so keep your calls coming in.
Chelsea can't win a league. If Arsenal don't win it, I think Chelsea, with Xabi Alonso, Chelsea need to be one of the teams dreaming. One of the teams. Look, a front line of Pedro, Esteval, Palmer, Rodgers is capable of scoring enough goals to win the league. If we now bring in Lacroix, bring in John Stones, sign a new goalkeeper, all of a sudden you're looking at a team with one game to play a week. You're looking at a team that could potentially win a league title.
Mate, you're talking guff.
No, that's not. That's
you're not
very rational chap.
Rory, you're not winning the league.
We are unlikely to win it, but we are one of the 5 teams that can legitimately be considered capable of winning it.
No, you're not.
We are 100%.
No, you're not.
No, you're just a biased Tottenham fan.
No, you are not in the conversation to win the league.
We are.
You are. Let's get Champions League. That's your aim.
That's the primary aim because Arsenal are going to win the league. What I'm saying is, if Arsenal don't win the league,
right, you've got Liverpool, Man City.
So just forget Arsenal. Arsenal, it all goes wrong. They shoot themselves in the foot. It goes as wrong as it went for Liverpool. Look, that won't happen. I think Arsenal will win the league. Let's just pretend they don't. Arsenal are not champions. Who are? The answer to that question is
Liverpool.
Morning, you're listening to talkSPORT. I'm Adam Catterall. Carlton Cole is alongside me in for White and Jordan throughout the course of this week. You're more than welcome to come and join us at any point. 03717 22 33 Don't worry, we'll get back onto the boxing thing. It seems to have stimulated quite a mass debate, and you're more than welcome to come and join us on that. Let's turn our attention, though, towards the world of football, shall we? talkSPORT's chief correspondent when it comes to the world of football is Alex Crook. Have you still got that cowboy hat on, pal? What's the score here?
Okay. No cowboy hat, boys. Very much back in Brighton, back on UK soil.
Good man.
You look like you've enjoyed yourself over there, by the way, mate. You was pub crawling, bar crawling. What was you doing? Find all the Irish pubs?
I made the best of it, Carlton. I may have invaded a few too many karaoke bars for the local.
Colin, he was out working, mate. You can't grass him up now. I know that he's been caught on camera a couple of times, like eating red hot food and having a bevy and all that type of stuff. But listen, the lad's out there grafting, doing his job.
No, listen, I was just looking. I was following some of the lads' feeds, and he was always in the pictures.
Yeah, he was there, mate.
He was there. Like without
usually with beer in hand. Yeah.
No crookie, no party. You know what I mean?
That's it. That's the new song. That's the new song. Listen, seeing as that we're obviously referring to you being out in the World Cup, let's talk about Mr. Infantino, because he's gone all in on his social media, hasn't he, pal?
He has. He's turned the comments off. Interestingly, it would have been very interesting.
He always does that, though. He always does that.
Yeah, he does. But I think a few people would have liked to write a reply. Listen, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. You boys have mentioned it. I had a brilliant 5.5 weeks in the States. I thought the football was terrific. I thought actually the expanded format of the World Cup worked. When you look at Cape Verde's heroics, particularly, and how close they came to actually causing what would have probably been the biggest upset ever and knocking out Argentina. I thought the knockout rounds threw up plenty of drama as well. I thought the American people were fantastic hosts, same in Canada and Mexico by all accounts. But obviously there were pitfalls. And when he talks about Infantino uniting two warring countries, I think Iran's World Cup experience would be very different to what he's making out. He talks about the protests over the Flo Balogun red card reversal. That was unprecedented, and I think it was shameful that he allowed Donald Trump to intervene in the way he did. I was pleased that the USA got knocked out, and I was supporting the USA up until that point, but I felt like justice was done when they got their backsides handed to them by that Belgian team. Mm-hmm. It can be both, can't it? It can be a brilliant World Cup, a great spectacle, but you can't ignore the pitfalls. The ticket prices were outrageous. The travelling to grounds was very difficult, particularly that one in New Jersey, which I don't necessarily think was fit for hosting the World Cup final. So for him just to make out everything is perfect and suggest anyone who's criticising him is full of hate, I think is nonsense, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm sure people will be getting stuck into that on social media, mate. Let's talk transfers, shall we? Let's talk Barcola. Let's talk Vinny Jr. Let's talk Diamande. What's the latest with those three, pal?
Barcola is a really interesting one because we know now, we reported at the weekend that PSG are asking for £145 million for the French international. Liverpool keen. I'm not sure they're quite that keen in terms of £145 million, but talks have taken place between the two clubs, and Barcola has resisted the opportunity on a few occasions to sign a new contract. So maybe PSG not in the strongest position here. I think he'd be a great signing for Liverpool. They need to replace Mo Salah. They were in for Yan Diamonde right at the start of the summer. They decided his asking price at RB Leipzig was too expensive, so he's off to Real Madrid now. We expect that move to happen in the next 24, 48 hours. I think Liverpool fans have been a bit frustrated at the lack of signing so far when you compare it to the last summer window. But we got a long time to go, haven't we, before the first Premier League ball is kicked, and even longer until the window closes on September the 1st. So I think Liverpool fans can be patient, and I know they're working hard behind the scenes, but Bradley Barcola very much a top target to come into Anfield.
Is Jose turning Madrid back into the Galacticos there? You've just mentioned Diamande. Obviously, you got your Vinny still there, and the boys already like Mbappe and Bellingham. Is that what we're going now with Jose?
Well, the Vinny Jr. situation is interesting because I think when it came out of the weekend that Arsenal were keen, we all thought, well, how can they do that deal? He's on 400 grand a week. He'd smash Arsenal's pay structure. Yeah. Real Madrid, even though he's stalling on signing a new contract, are going to want a six-figure sum. But if they sign Diamande, as looks likely, how do the two fit into the same team? And I think what's really interesting here, and Ben Jacobs, I think, has mentioned this a couple of times, they've got the same agent, Vinicius Jr. and Yan Diamande. So would his agency take Diamande to Real Madrid knowing that he's going to compete with Vinicius Jr.? I don't think Vinicius Jr. to Arsenal is as fanciful as maybe it first appeared.
Yeah, when you look at it, when you look at the left side attackers around the world, who's competing with Vinny Jr. really? You got Barcola, you got Diamande. You've got Diaz.
Yeah.
There's not a massive pool to pick from world class wise to be going into to go and improve a squad. Now, when you look at Arsenal, they probably will. They've just got rid of Trossard.
Yeah, Trossard's gone.
So that's a space needs, and they've only got Martinelli on that left hand side. So they do need somebody else. Who is that person that's going to be able to fill in that space for them? Because there's not a large selection around the world, is there, Quickie?
No, I thought it would be Morgan Rogers, to be honest. I thought that deal would get done. I know he met Mikel Arteta even before jetting out to the World Cup, and Arteta had made him a top target, but fair play, Chelsea came in and gazumped them. I'm not sure Arsenal would have paid £117 million anyway, but clearly they have got a hole in the squad. As you say, they've let Trossard go for a relatively modest sum, really, £17 million for a player. I think he scored some key goals, particularly last season. Seems a little bit on the cheap side, but I think they're going to do something sensational, and it could well be that Vinicius Junior is the man, because you're right. There's not an endless list, is there, of left-sided players. The attraction with Rodgers, I think, was that he could play on the left side, he could play on the 10, because, of course, Ødegaard didn't have his best season last year. So I do think Arteta will be frustrated that one slipped through his fingers.
What's the situation with Bruno Guimaraes and Arsenal? Because we're going to be speaking a lot about Newcastle in the next 10 to 15 minutes or so, mate. They've lost a couple of top players throughout this window. Are they going to lose another one?
Maybe. I mean, I get pelters from Newcastle fans every time I talk about Bruno Guimaraes, like I'm the one trying to force this transfer. But he is keen. He is keen to join the champions, as you would be. Obviously, Newcastle not in Champions League football next season. It was always going to be an issue, I think, to keep their top stars. It's almost like a domino effect, isn't it? Anthony Gordon went early in the window. Tonali's gone. Guimaraes, I think, wants to leave. You've got interest from Manchester United in Lewis Hall, interest in Manchester City from Livramento. So I think Newcastle fans have got to be prepared for the fact that this is going to be a summer of change. Actually, when I was in with Darren McAntony on this slot last week, the Peterborough owner, he was saying that might be a positive sign. Maybe this team has come to the end of the road, and maybe Eddie Howe needs to regenerate and needs a little bit of fresh energy in terms of a younger profile of players. That certainly seems to be the way. I think if Arsenal get anywhere near £80 million for Bruno Guimaraes, Newcastle are going to have a massive decision to make.
Yeah. Are you on your summer holidays this week, mate? Is that what you're doing? Is it feet up?
Well, Glorious Goodwood starts tomorrow, so I'm there for.
Yeah, the cowboy hat will be back out. He'll be back out tomorrow.
There for the next 3 days. Do you know what? The cowboy hat might make an appearance at some point, and then I'm in with Darren on Friday, and then I go off to sunnier climes for a little bit of a family holiday.
Oh, lovely.
Top man. Well, thank you very much for giving up a bit of time this morning to come and join us on that, mate. Much appreciated. Have a wonderful day, Crookie. Top man. There'll be plenty more conversation on transfers throughout the course of the day, no doubt, here on talkSPORT. And as I said a moment or two ago, we're going to turn our attentions towards Newcastle, because as Crookie was just alluding to there, the Bruno Guimaraes situation, a lot of Newcastle fans are speaking about that. Already lost Gordon, already lost Tonali. How is their season going to shape up coming up this year? We'll get stuck into it next.
I think that was the key with Mateus Fernandes as well. They walked away from that deal, obviously went to Tottenham for 85 million, A, because they thought the price was a bit excessive, but B, they never really got the impression the player was fully invested in the project. And I think they only want people who want to play for Manchester United. You look at Mateus Cunha and Brian Mbumo last summer, they had offers from elsewhere, could have been playing Champions League football. They both made it abundantly clear from the start they wanted this move to Old Trafford, and that's the type of character you want in the dressing room.
Absolutely. Here's a dilemma for you. Would you sell... Bear in mind, they need some money. They need money.
If you're going to say Bruno Fernandes, the answer is no chance. Would you sell him,
Bruno Fernandes, at
no chance.
32?
No.
Would you not cash in 100 million?
21 assists last season. Wears the captain's armband. Been the best player by a country mile since Sir Alex Ferguson left the club. Absolutely brainless to
listen
even
to this one
contemplate
now. This assist business, I don't get it.
No?
No, I don't get it. Because I asked Jamie O'Hara the other night, how many assists did you get in your career? You went, I don't know. I said, yeah, because no one ever told you, and we never counted them. So I said, the assists depend on who you're playing with. So, for example, if Harry Maguire robs the ball off the centre forward and pokes it to Fernandes, and he first times it round the corner for me to go clean through and score, who gets the assist? Harry Maguire or Fernandes? Or both?
No, fair point. Sometimes the assist to the assist can be more important. However,
I'll give you another way.
To set up 21 goals over the course of a Premier League season is
Talk Sport.
For the headlines at 1 minute past 11, I'm Tom Clayton. Good morning. FIFA President Gianni Infantino has hit out at FIFA's critics in a scathing Instagram post. He says he's sorry that those who spent the World Cup hiding behind screens and pens and paper missed the good of the tournament. Here's talkSPORT's chief football correspondent Alex Crook.
I'm not sure why he's felt the need to do this. It spreads across 15 slides on Instagram. I'm not exactly sure who he's having a pop at. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is Seferin. Maybe it's some of us in the media who've been critical. But it was a great World Cup. So I'm not sure that he needed to come out and justify himself and justify FIFA.
Infantino has blocked comments on the post. Elsewhere today, we've been told that Vinny Jr. at Arsenal isn't a great fit.
How do you have Saka on one side, who's the captain, has done everything right, and then you bring in this guy and go, oh, by the way, everyone, give him the ball. And you have to keep giving him the ball. But yeah, I don't like it. I don't think it helps Arsenal.
Troy Deeney there, who doesn't think the Brazilian would fit into the collective mindset. talkSPORT understands that if Arsenal were to make a move, they would have the finances to make them their top paid player. Xabi Alonso says he has a plan for Cole Palmer and Morgan Rogers.
We need to have a good mix, good stability players and players that can play with more freedom. And if we get that balance right and we get those special players in the right positions with good control, I think that will be more competitive.
Alonso also says Chelsea may dip back into the market this summer. And the founder and president of Matchroom Boxing, Barry Hearn, has told talkSPORT that AJV Fury must be held in the UK. He's told us it's already written in the contract, and the Saudis have been warned not to go against that. Get more on talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
Teenagers claiming sickness benefits for anxiety are getting more money than someone working part-time on minimum wage. And wildlife presenter and comedian Bill Oddie has died at the age of 85. Emma has more in half an hour.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. This summer, treat yourself to Bridgestone Turanza All-Season 6 tyres with a 25,000 mileage guarantee. Book today at quickfit.com. Conditions apply.
Dry with sunny spells in the south. Northern areas see a few showers initially, then rain spreads east later on.
The lads are on holiday, so it's me, Adam Catterall, and Carlton Cole with you on this fantastic Monday morning. Thank you very much for joining us so far. We've been speaking quite a lot about Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury and boxing, and we're going to continue to do that a little bit later on the show's Matchroom CEO Frank Smith's going to be joining us just after 12 o'clock, so make sure you're around for that. 03717223344. If you want to get involved, we're going to be speaking about the transfer situation at the moment. A man from West Ham United looking towards Saudi Arabia, binning off West Ham for Saudi Arabia. Crescenzio Somerville, what's all that about? We'll talk about that in about 15 minutes. Right now, though, let's turn our attention towards Newcastle United, because we were just speaking about the Bruno Guimaraes scenario. And obviously, Arsenal wanting him wanting to go to the Champions, according to Alex Crook. They can't afford another situation like last year, can they, Newcastle, like they had with Alexander Isak, where it went on for the whole summer, and then they end up not being left short, because obviously they do bring people in, but they're not as strong as they were at the end of last season. We've already seen them lose Tonali, we've already seen them lose Gordon. This would probably be the biggest of the lot, because he feels like the talisman, Bruno Guimaraes. He's the leader, he's the guy that every time I watch him, he's always giving 100%, and he's a 7/7.5 every single week, you know. I think this would be probably the biggest out of the two that have already gone.
Yeah, definitely. Bruno's been sensational for them, I'd say. And I'd look at it and think, okay, if you lose that person there, he's like the heart and soul of that team. So Tonali, they coped with Tonali being out. Remember, he had the ban. And then when he came back, he was a plus. But when Bruno, if you're going to put Bruno in that category, he's totally above that because he held the ship together. Do you know what I mean? Now, when I look at what they've lost, so they've lost Tonali, Gordon, that's their main players, man. And then you go Guimaraes, it's a rebuild. Is Eddie Howe prepared to do that again or do it anyway? Because I think he deserves more. I think he's a top quality manager. And I think I'm not saying that, I just feel that his time might have run out over there because he's just hanging on now. And I think Newcastle are not showing him enough ambition to go forward, unless he's going to get a load of money in, because he's lost every time he seems to be getting somewhere. He's losing his best players.
Let's hear from him, right?
So Isak, that was a massive blow for him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and that's what kind of messed up his season going forward for last season. Now he's in this situation. He's got to readjust again. I think he deserves the world. So I think he needs to go and look at something else where he can go and grow as a manager.
Let's hear from him, because he has been speaking after the pre-season game against Gateshead at the weekend. They drew that one apiece, and he was talking about the situation regarding his captain.
Yeah, I've spoken to him as I would do Bruno normally. He's just a fantastic person. We've had some really good conversations, both sort of before the World Cup, during the World Cup, and after the World Cup. So what we speak about obviously has to remain private, but just a great player, a great person. I don't know what's going to happen with Bruno's future. That's for other people to, one, speculate about, but also conversations that I'm not part of.
It is. You just highlighting that, then you've got to feel for him a little bit, because I think he's done a good job.
Great job
at Newcastle. Obviously, at one point they looked like they were really kicking on, but now obviously players evidently are thinking to themselves, well, maybe there's a ceiling here.
Yeah.
We've got to a certain level. Yeah, we got over that, what was it, 50, 55 years or whatever it was, we had a trophy. We've done that now, that's great. Right, let's kick on. And they didn't do that.
Do it.
They've seen the star striker move. They haven't really replaced with like for like. No offence to Mr. Voltemada. And now other top players are thinking to themselves, well, if I've got to win, if I want to win something, if I want to win X, Y, and Z when it comes to money, I'm going to have to move on. And when you've got people like Tonali moving, obviously, to London to play for Spurs, you've got, it's a great move for Anthony Gordon going out to Barcelona. And now, obviously, you've got the champions that are dead interested in Bruno Guimaraes. These are all big moves. You've got to replace like for like. It's a very difficult situation for Eddie Howe to be in, because he's probably as ambitious as these boys as well.
Listen, there's that thought that comes to mind, quit while you're ahead. Because, look, with managers, right, like they get a bad run sometimes. And when I look at it, sometimes you don't have to get sacked. Why do you feel you have to get sacked? Maybe monetary, with the money part, maybe it's better to get sacked as a manager because you get the severance fee. But for him, it's like, come on, I might have to leave. I have to leave with a bit of pride here, because I can't see a future here, because it's just getting worse.
Do you think we'll get to that situation this season with Eddie Howe?
That he leaves.
That he gets frustrated, yeah.
Of course.
There's that saying,
he must be frustrated now, but he has to show a strong face, because he's lost all his best players. Like, he's trying to build to try and get the club somewhere, but you always have to lose your best players. It's hard. And I think he's an elite manager. I think he can go to the next level.
It'd be interesting to see what.
And we need him as England, because he might be like, after Tuchel, you could look at it.
Oh, you're thinking it from a different angle.
Yeah,
you're thinking it from an England angle.
Yeah, I am.
I'm thinking of this from a Newcastle point of view. If you're a Newcastle fan right now, you must be frustrated. 03717 223344. Get in contact with the show, because obviously when you get the big money coming in from the Middle Eastern state, it comes in and you think to yourself, this is us now. Yeah. We're rocking and rolling. We're going to be spending this.
It hasn't happened that way.
Well, it can't happen like that, because of the financial rules connected.
They put
to
a
football.
cap on it at the wrong time for them.
Right. So they've got handcuffs. They've got all this dough, but they've got handcuffs and they can't do X, Y, and Z. But when players are going out for fees and stuff, then obviously that needs to be reinvested, and you need to obviously reinvest it wisely enough to be able to strengthen the side and be able to kick the side on. Eddie Howe's done a wonderful job getting them into the Champions League. They've won trophies now up there, doing absolutely fantastic stuff. Do you believe that there will be a point, maybe even now, maybe even it's before the season starts, is there a point now where he's thinking to himself, hang on a minute, this ain't for me, I'm going in a different direction?
Yeah, because look, what players can they attract now? What players can they attract? You look at it. Can they attract because they got the money? Could they attract Diomande? Probably not. Could they attract even could they attract Rashford from Man United? Could they attract him? Do you know what I mean? Could they even attract Trossard? Do you know what I mean? Like, couldn't they attract top players to go up to Newcastle and buy into what they're doing and say we're going places? I don't think Newcastle are going places. I think they've hit a ceiling because they can't get any better right now because there's that cap that's been over it. The others that got through, Man City, Arsenal, they're doing their thing. They're buying the top players. Can Newcastle get up to that point?
Do you fear for them this season?
Yeah. If Eddie Howe is keeping that ship afloat, Eddie Howe is.
So you at this moment in time, as you're looking at that squad,
can they do better than Eddie Howe as a manager? Probably not. Because I think he's done a brilliant job. Can they get to the next level? I'm not sure.
So what's his battle this season? Because his battle, he would want his battle to be challenging for Champions League spots, right?
Yeah, but can he do that with the equipment he's got?
So what do you think his battle is this season? Do you think they'll be down the other end of the table?
Their battle is to try and get into the top 8. Can he do that? And that would be, if they can, it'll all be down to Eddie Howe with that team.
Owen, welcome to the show, mate.
Hiya.
Go on, pal. What do you want to say?
I just think that with the PSR, everyone keeps going on and about the positives and the negatives, but at the end of the day, Eddie does get the final say on which players he wants. And the players leaving, yes, that affects the club as a whole, but the players that we're bringing in, it just seems that there's no knowledge behind it. They're all young. We're not going to go anywhere with a young team when trying to start a rebuild. We need a bit of experience. And the only experience we've got right now is Dan Burn and Fabian Shaw, and they're on the way out of the club at some point.
Yeah.
Regarding the finances of it, mate, I mean, we're talking about key players here in Tonali, in Gordon, and obviously Guimaraes. These are top players, good players that were getting a lot of sides in the Premier League and across Europe. Replacing them like for likes costing dough, especially if you go in for younger boys, aren't you? You know what I mean? It's gonna cost some serious money to be able to do it, and then you've got financial restrictions that are stopping you to be able to do that, mate.
Yeah, of course. When Gordon went, obviously it was good money. We doubled our money when we bought them, but it seems like when you get money for that kind of player, you go out and you spend that money on a replacement. We've received 80 million or whatever the fee was for him. Why haven't we went out and bought an 80 million pound player, a proven player?
But that's what
Carlton's saying. Yeah, go on.
That goes back to what I'm saying. Can you attract that anymore?
No, probably not. If Bruno leaves, I think that's all of the pull gone completely, because people will look at him and think, God, he came in the same time as Trippier. He had a lot of experience. Obviously, in the French league, it's a big step up coming to the Prem. But he was a talisman. He changed the way we play football.
Mm.
We just go back to playing how we played under Steve Bruce.
Mm. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. He's exactly where I'm at, but I'm not sure whether he can. The only this is what it goes. The only way that he can attract these players is if he was a Mourinho. Newcastle, I mean. Newcastle could attract these players because the players sometimes move for the manager.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Eddie Howe's probably not at that world stage yet where he can attract players from these players and they believe in, he'll be really good for me. Do you know what I mean? I look at it like that. They might have to get a manager that can attract, and that's no slight on Eddie. I think Eddie's done a brilliant job, but I think they're going to need a world-class manager to attract the best players now. Would you agree with me on that? I'm not sure. Just to get the players over the line, to get the best players, you need to probably go a level up.
I think the team, the way that they play, and the players will attract the players. But if you're losing all your players, then it becomes an incredibly difficult thing to do over this summer period. If you've lost three...
summer period.
Yeah. If you've lost three of your top boys, then anybody that is being spoken to by Newcastle United will be going, well, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
They're all going out.
Yeah. So,
this is a rebuild.
Yeah.
I'm a part of a rebuild. I want
yeah, you ask those questions. Yeah, you ask, am I the main guy on this rebuild? How do you sell it to me?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you do have to question that part of analysing whether you're going to move to Newcastle.
But then this comes back to your original point of what was originally sold to Eddie Howe. I think he's ticked all those boxes and achieved those things for Newcastle United. Now what's the sell to him? He's in a different situation now.
Yeah.
Because he's lost his lads. Is he rebuilding? What's the situation?
Yeah, that's the conversation he has to have this summer. Definitely.
03717 22 33 44. Keep your calls coming in. We'll get you on the radio in a moment or two. The Commonwealth Games is up and running well and truly, and John Cushing is across it for talkSPORT. What's the latest, mate?
Yeah, welcome to Scotstoun, the home of the athletics for these games, and a really good crowd actually for the opening morning as well. There was a bit of rain earlier, but the sun is shining, and it's shining on the English sprinters and Welsh sprinters, because Elliot Jones is the only English men in the 100-metre sprint for these Commonwealth Games, and he's just won the last heat, 10.07. He's through to the semi-finals tomorrow, same time as Aussie Edward Nketiah in that race. Earlier we saw the Welsh record holder, Jeremiah Azu, of course, Olympic medalist, safely into the semis as well, winning his heat. He's 6th fastest overall, 10.10 seconds. Over at Toll Cross in the pool, Duncan Scott is safely into the men's 200-metre fly final tonight. He won his heat, finishing 5th fastest. He admitted to talkSPORT afterwards that it was a tough morning, but he's now got a lot of time to recover because he's fortunately late on the schedule tonight. Ed Mildred of England also in the final, and a huge day of boxing. 13 home nations boxers in action. Paddy Hewitt and Will Hewitt, the English twins, both in action this morning. Northern Ireland's Caitlin Fries is just getting underway. This is the Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games. It's live across the talkSPORT network.
Commonwealth Games update on talkSPORT with BYD. Dare to dream with BYD and the Commonwealth Games.
Best of luck to the Hewitt boys there in the boxing a little bit later on, as John was just saying. Do stick with us. There's plenty more to come here on talkSPORT throughout the course of the morning. It is all in association with Selco Builders Warehouse. It's where the trade go.
Vinicius Junior. I'll read this from the Telegraph Sport, their sports pull-out this morning. Dom King writes, Arsenal prepared to offer Brazilian forward Vini Junior the biggest contract in the club's history as they plot to outline their soaring ambition. He currently commands a weekly salary, 400,000 euros a week at Madrid, but Arsenal would look to improve that to maximise their chances of pulling off an audacious coup. It kind of came out of nowhere, didn't it, boys, on Saturday afternoon. He's got a year left on his deal at Real Madrid. Arsenal exploring the possibility, Troy, of signing Vinny Jr. Is it going to happen? And if it does happen, where does this rank in Premier League history in terms of biggest coups for the Premier League, not just Arsenal?
If it did happen, it would be amazing for the Premier League to have a superstar on that level in terms of global appeal, blah, 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 all that stuff. I don't like it.
Why?
I don't like it. I don't think it suits the way that Arsenal play. I don't think his personality suits Arteta.
What do you mean his personality?
I think he's a massive diva in regard to like what he wants, what he needs, and I don't think he would buy into the collective. And now that would be something new for Arteta to have to deal with, right? Because he's all about the group. So how do you have Saka on one side, who's the captain, has done everything right, and then you bring in this guy and go, oh, by the way, everyone, give him the ball, and you have to keep giving him the ball. But yeah, I don't like it. I don't think it helps Arsenal.
Good morning. You're listening to talkSPORT. It is mid-mornings with me, Adam Catterall, and Can't Call this week. White and Jordan on the holidays. Don't worry, they'll be back for the start of the brand spanking new football season. In the meantime, you can give us a ring and get stuck into some of the conversation in and around football transfers. 03717 223344. Speaking quite a lot about Newcastle. Yes, we will flirt with the conversation about what's going on at West Ham. Spurs are more than welcome to come and join us as well. Lots of interesting text actually coming in regarding what we're just speaking about with Newcastle, obviously losing three of the top talisman, it looks like, obviously with the Bruno Guimaraes thing up in the air at the moment. But Liverpool had to sell Suarez and Coutinho, many others, and they managed to still climb up, reinvesting that money. That comes back to recruitment, doesn't it? It comes back to reinvesting the money properly into the right guys, doing the right things in order to grow the team properly. We've also got a few points on PSR. You need to invest in your academy like City and Chelsea did. Newcastle haven't invested in their academy at all. We've also got Aston Villa fans getting involved with this. We've lost 7 players since the summer of 2024. All the talks about Newcastle losing 3. Maybe we should talk about poor recruitment. Again, it comes back to poor recruitment. Villa have obviously recruited.
Getting things over the line.
Yeah, and pushed it all back in the right direction. Chris is a Newcastle fan. Chris, welcome to the show, mate. How are you?
Hi, Chris.
Oh, have we got you, Chris?
Yes, mate.
Chris,
I'll tell you what, we're trying to get a better signal on you, Chris, because it seems a little bit all over the place there, mate. We'll go to Robert, and then hopefully we'll resort your line out. Robert, welcome, mate.
Morning, lads.
How are you, pal?
Morning,
yeah,
mate.
we're all good, mate. We're all good. What do you want to say?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I just want to touch on what Carlton was saying earlier. I do agree with him to a certain extent, but I think a lot of it's getting blown out of proportion. We've lost 3 players. Yes, Gordon, Tonali, potentially Bruno. But as long as our recruitment is good, replacing them players, every team needs a rebuild. You go back to last summer, Bournemouth lost potentially all their back 4. Then in January, they lost Semenyo, went to Man City, still had a fantastic season.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are blowing this out of proportion. We've got £100 million for a midfielder that didn't even score 1 Premier League goal last season.
Fair.
Now, if you look at that on paper, I'm sorry, but that is fantastic business. £100 million for a midfielder that didn't score 1 Premier League goal. I mean,
no, that's brilliant business.
Right. So first and foremost, then, with the Bournemouth comparison, then, obviously manager, they had a guy obviously that coached their guys right. They had a plan. They knew exactly what they were doing, and obviously it worked for them last year. So Eddie Howe, the man for you. You happy so far?
Yeah.
100%. Listen, we went through a little bit of a sticky patch last season.
Yeah.
Numerous circumstances probably played into us having a bad season. I don't think there's any better manager to coach players and traditionally make them better players on the training field.
You're right.
Than Eddie Howe. It's been proven. So I'm excited for this season. Touching on the Bruno subject as well. I rang in last week and I said we should sell him. And I still stick by that. What we have to remember is as well, when we signed Bruno, no other big club wanted Bruno. I'm not classing Newcastle as a huge club. We took a chance on Bruno. Now listen, it's worked in our favour, but we signed him in the January transfer window, which is traditionally hard to sign good players. Now, no other team took a chance on Bruno, so we have to remember that as well. We've been good for him as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes 2 ways.
No doubt about that, mate. Absolutely.
It goes 2 ways.
Are you? Sorry to interrupt you there, Colin. Are you confident in the recruitment? That was going to be my second point. So you're confident in the manager to be able to coach the lads and get the job done right. Are you confident in the recruitment to bring in the right people to replace those lads?
Yeah.
That would be the thing, lads. As long as your recruitment's bang on, then there shouldn't be an issue. Now, I personally think since the Saudis took over Newcastle, up until last summer, Newcastle got their recruitment bang on. You even look at the players that we've missed out on, and bloody hell, we've missed out on quite a few, who chose other teams. We are shopping in the right aisle for top-class quality players. It's just attracting them to come here. Now, up until last summer, you would see every signing that we've made, probably bar Matt Target, would double our money on, easily. And it's been proven. So where recruitment is right, but up until last summer, we're saying Baltimore, Wissa, for me, is the biggest mistake Newcastle's made in the last 10 years, simply because there's no resale value there because he's 29-year-old. To outlay £55 million on a 29-year-old is just absolutely ridiculous.
I think that was reactionary, though. That was reactionary.
Carlton it was, pal. Listen, they were in trouble. They were panicking. They needed a striker.
Yeah.
I personally said last summer, now listen, this is just my opinion. I would have went for a Jamie Vardy or a Calvert-Lewin on a free. Not that I think they would have pulled up any trees for her, but I think it would have been a stopgap for 12 months.
Yeah.
And then I would have said to my recruitment team, right, you've got 12 months to find me a top-class striker from round Europe, and I'll save that 55 million quid.
Yeah.
Surely that would have been the better thing to do.
Yeah, instead of doing them, it's like a marquee signing, basically.
Chris, you want a job, mate? I think you should get up there, pal.
Mate, you're supposed to be part of that recruitment team, mate. Mate, I agree with everything he said.
You're speaking far too much sense. What are you doing?
Yeah, this is talkSPORT, mate.
Honestly, mate, like, I'm sure you're the same on the WhatsApp with the lads and everything, and I was saying, and me personally, I would have went for Jamie Vardy. I thought he plays the same type of way as Isaac. He's fast. He stretches defences. A 12-month stopgap, give him a 2-year contract. He was a free transfer.
Yeah.
Premier League experience.
At the time, yeah.
Fit as a fiddle. You know, at the time, and I just thought we could have saved ourselves that 55 million quid. And then you could have said to your recruitment, find me a striker in Europe.
Yeah. Go on.
What? There's just going to be no resale value in Wissa, whether he turns out to be unbelievable this season. Which team is then going to come along and offer us big dough for a 30-year-old? It just doesn't make sense.
What's your thoughts on this season, mate?
To be honest, mate, I think we'll have a really good season. Honestly, I'm excited. I think, we've got to remember as well, these players have been there 4 or 5 years. Yeah. You know, there's nothing wrong with having a refresh every 4 or 5 years. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
They've been really good for other players. If everyone's being honest, Tonali never wanted to be here. He's never looked happy. It's as if we were craving his affection. He's never wanted to be here. And like I said, I just can't believe we got the money for a player that didn't even score one Premier League goal. Yeah. I mean, it's just mental.
Good business,
Gordon,
mate. Yeah.
It's fantastic business. Gordon down tools the last 6 months. If we're being fair, he did. Even Shearer called him out a couple of times on the Champions League.
His Premier League performances were nowhere near what his Champions League performances were for you last year. Yeah.
Mate, I try and get to as many games as possible. We're obviously permitting, and I watch them. He was absolutely diabolical. If you speak to Newcastle fans that watch him, he was a disgrace. So listen, we shake hands with him. We'll move on. We wish him the best of luck. We've doubled our money on him. We've signed a player for £35 million to replace him. Now, if he can replace him, bloody hell, lads, Howard, you've got to look at it and say, we've banked 70, we've signed his replacement for 35. Surely that's got, it's got to be classed as good business.
Yeah. Chris, top man, thanks for joining us. Far too much sense, mate. Far too much sense.
Great call. It just puts it into perspective. And,
and optimism.
On a different side. Yeah, and listen, the recruitment is a massive thing. And he's saying the recruitment's done on the right job so far. And they've done a right job selling players that, don't get me wrong, 100 million for a player that hasn't scored
but that's the sign of having a good coach, isn't it? They brought in lads that they've taken a little bit of a chance on, the Guimaraes of this world. They've been coached well by Eddie Howe. They've obviously increased the value. Those lads now have hit a ceiling, and they're now moving on and making it go. It's now, that circle's just got to keep going. They've got to keep doing that.
And then Wissa, that's where he says there's a bit of a mistake there.
Yeah, but
is it a mistake? I'm not sure. I think
if he turns around and bags 20 goals this season,
and then there's a great investment. And he did start off injured that season.
Yes, he did.
So you've got to give him the benefit of the doubt. And he did decently have a good World Cup. He done all right in the World Cup.
It's a big year for him this year.
It's a big year for him just to kick on.
Keep your calls coming. 03717 22 33 It's mid-mornings on talkSPORT. Adam Catterall and Carlton Carlton for White and Jordan.
Should be a case of will we buy him, not, more will he buy into our club's ethos and the family feel. You cannot upset the dressing room vibe for anyone. no matter their reputation or their credentials.
So are you suggesting that if he comes to your club, he will upset the dressing room?
Not if we've done due diligence and Arteta talks to the man, not the footballer. But I promise you one thing, as a little bit of an aside and maybe a little bit tongue-in-cheek, if we do sign him, see just how quickly he becomes the most average winger in the world.
Dave, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You say there, interview the man. When have you ever known anyone to not buy into it before they've got in the building? So if you're Vinny Jr., you're going to put best foot forward, right? I'll buy in, Gaffer. I'll do all of these things. It's more worrying for me once he's in the building. I think the way that Arsenal won it was as a team and as a collective. And then if you add this superstar in, who, as Real Madrid have found out, will only defend when he wants to, will only play a formation that he wants to play, I think it causes so much more problems than it's worth.
Yeah, but I think that Arteta and the powers that be are good enough to sniff that out. I think Arteta's already proven in the way that he dealt with Aubameyang and those big egos. He put the club first and he thought to himself, no. That's what Unai Emery couldn't do, and I don't think he's been able to do that at other clubs.
talkSPORT News.
Good morning. With your latest news headlines, I'm Emma Smith. Teenagers claiming sickness benefits for anxiety and depression are getting £100 a week more than someone working part-time on minimum wage. More than 87,000 16 and 17-year-olds are now claiming PIP. The figures come as Andy Burnham looks to tighten benefit rules after Sir Keir Starmer's reforms sparked a Labour revolt. Tom Scottson is the political correspondent for The Sun.
The one thing he's got going for him is that he is seen as more of a left-wing figure, so maybe that just because of those sort of vibes that he may be able to carry some of the Labour Party with him that Starmer never managed to.
3 people have died after getting into trouble in the water at 2 of the UK's most popular seaside resorts. One man was pulled from the water yesterday afternoon in West Wittering in Sussex, while a man and a woman drowned on Fistral Beach in Newquay last night. The next 24 hours are being described as crucial as a wildfire races towards Bordeaux. More than 360,000 people have now been evacuated across France and Spain as the blaze continues to spread. Rebecca Papin is an American currently staying at her holiday home in France.
I went outside yesterday because we ran out of food and the government had opened the supermarket. So I went with my children on foot and it was just us and soldiers in camouflage.
And the Goodies star Bill Oddie has died aged 85. The comedian and wildlife presenter has been remembered as Britain's best loved birder.
talkSPORT sports headlines with Bostic. For professional grade sealants with easy application and a perfect finish, pros trust Bostic.
Gianni Infantino has launched a scathing attack on FIFA's critics following the World Cup. And we understand Arsenal do have the finances to bring Vinny Jr. to North London. Hugo has more at midday.
Morning, you're listening to talkSPORT. I'm Adam Catterall. Carlton Cole is alongside me. White and Jordan on their holidays. Time to get the latest odds right now with BetMGM.
It's showtime on talkSPORT with BetMGM. We're ready for the action. Are you? Visit betmgm.co.uk or download the app. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
Alex, morning, mate. How are you?
Morning, guys. How are we doing?
Yes, very well indeed. Listen, on my train on the way down to London this morning, my man, I got into a conversation with a darts fan who was absolutely giving it the big one about Luke Littler and what Luke Littler was getting up to, setting world records. His average at the match play sensational. Obviously, his performance against Gerwyn Price yesterday. Mate, he is just on a different level. And he's still only a baby. There's still many years of all this to come.
It is, yeah. I mean, I'm just running out of superlatives now to describe him. He just keeps going to different levels, doesn't he? I mean, even going into a final with someone as good as Gerwyn Price and being 1-11 on is just ridiculous. I mean, like you said, some of the stats and records that he's breaking at 19, so he's beat Phil Taylor's record at the match play. He's now only ever lost one senior match with 20 or more legs, which was the world's final in 2024. He's earned 3.1 million in prize money in the last 2 years, which is just over 2 million more than Luke Humphries in second. And he's odds on now at 4-6 to win a third consecutive world title later in the year. Only Phil Taylor's managed to do that in the PDC era. Granted that Taylor did win a ridiculous 8 worlds in a row. But he sparked a bit of a debate this morning on social media and in the office, really. Is it good for the sport that he is so dominant? I mean, the only thing that maybe comes close is Tiger Woods in golf, but Tiger's still lost majors. Littler isn't losing. Where are you at with it, lads? Is it good for the sport, in your opinion?
Yeah, mate. I'm here for greatness, and I think I can fully appreciate that he is just a once in a generation type of player. So therefore, if I'm buying a ticket to go down to the darts, yeah, of course I can appreciate the Gerwyn Prices of this world and Luke Humphries of this world, of course, and I'd love to watch their matches. But I'm here to watch Luke Littler. This is.
How far can he go for you? Like, what is it?
What's on him?
Who does he compare to?
It's like Alex has just said there. I mean, you're talking like the early years of Tiger Woods when he dominated golf for such a long period.
No, but in darts, who does he?
Well, it's Phil Taylor, isn't it?
Is that the only one? And what age did Phil Taylor start?
Well, he
get dominant like this.
Not like this.
It's crazy, isn't it?
This kid's just out of nappies. You know what I mean? And he's chucking arrows like Robin Hood. He's having a whale.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
He's absolutely.
Can he keep it going though?
Yeah. Listen, Alex, to answer your question, mate, I think he has been a breath of fresh air, especially for the younger demographics. Obviously, you see him do bits of social media and bits of YouTube with certain influencers and what have you. I think he really is bringing a brand spanking new audience to the sport, which is traditionally a bit of a pub sport for the older generation. I think he's been an absolute breath of fresh air, mate, and long may it continue. And that's the challenge for everybody else, isn't it? Yeah. He's setting the standard. He's setting the bar. Try and hit him. Try and get hold of him. See if you can catch him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, obviously, we sponsor the Premier League, so 17 weeks on the spin, sold out arenas every single week.
Well, just remember the lads when you're sorting the tickets out next time. All right, lad. Make sure you're looking after the boys.
Come on, Alex.
Well, you'll have to beat Crookie to them tickets.
Mate, he's a nightmare. He goes every week.
Alex, come on, man. When you want to see me in fancy dress, I'll come in fancy dress,
we'll
mate.
Do that. We'll have a party.
We'll have a little bit of that. Bring the vibes.
Hey? Well, you'll be top of my list, mate. Don't worry about
Cheers,
that.
pal.
What's the latest in the world of football when it comes to transfers, mate?
Yeah, it's all kicking off, isn't it? After the World Cup, obviously transfer business is through the roof, and I did have a little laugh at Fabrizio Romano and Mr. Plettenberg bickering like school kids last night about who's the better transfer journalist yesterday. But
wow,
I know it is early doors. Bit of a difficult question, but who's done the best business so far for you? Is it Spurs just because they've had a bit of a head start on everyone? So everyone's a bit sort of catching up, aren't they? Have they done the best business or anyone else?
Good question. I think from where Spurs were at to what they need going forward into the new season, I think aesthetically that does look like they've done the best business so far. But as you've rightfully said, this is where it gets.
It's like the start of it. It's not over. It's like
it's not over at all.
No, so it started. So I think they've started off well. They've quick out the traps.
Chelsea have done some.
Chelsea's done some good stuff. Got a new manager in.
Yeah.
Secured Alonso. So the only way looks up for Chelsea because they was in a bad state, and they've got players that didn't go to the World Cup as well, so they should come back fresh as well. So they're looking good.
I think from where Spurs were at, Alex, I don't know where you're at, mate, but I think from where Spurs were at last season, the amount of things that they needed, I think they've done good business, nice and early to get lads through the door. One, to change the attitude, I suppose, maybe of a lot of fans, give them a little bit of hope coming into the new season,
and the players
and the lads that they've actually brought in. You know that they're going into the first team. We're not talking about squad guys here, are we? Yeah. We're talking about lads that are going to come in and make a difference. So I would, at this stage, right here on this day today, my man, I will answer the question of Spurs. Where are you at?
Yeah, I probably agree with you just because of the head start. they probably need a couple of wide players, I think, and you'd imagine you'll see Romero go. Maybe they're very, very stacked in midfield, aren't they? But it's going to be an interesting season, really. And it's City, of course, new manager. Man United have got Champions League to deal with now. Liverpool, new manager. Chelsea, new manager. Spurs, new manager. Villa, of course, have lost Rodgers, but looking like they're going to be quite active. Loads of change at Newcastle, as the lads have said. But Adam, as a City fan, I was just going to get your thoughts on the Rodri situation.
Mate.
We've got him at 7 to 25 now to sign for Real Madrid. So what's a fair price if he does go? Obviously, 30-year-old, 1 year left.
200 million quid, mate. Listen, he is
Ballon d'Or,
mate. He's the best in that position that I've ever seen. I think he's
seen,
mate. Absolutely mustard.
What? Come on, Rodri.
Who's better than him?
Ever seen?
Yeah, who's better than him?
He plays the Makelele role.
Better than him.
Kante's better than him.
Mate, stop this nonsense.
Kante. N'Golo Kante, mate. What are you talking about?
Listen.
You've just lost your darts ticket, sorry.
Listen, mate. Listen, it's just for N'Golo Kante won the Premier League with Leicester.
Yeah.
And he was a massive part.
Mate, the dude has just completed the trifecta. He's done the Champions League,
well done,
the World
mate.
Cup, and now he's done the Ballon d'Or.
No competition, mate. No competition.
What are you talking about? All the world strikers, the lads that are actually making a big difference at the back end, at the top end of the pitch.
Yeah.
The lad that is mopping up, putting out fires and setting off fire rockets.
Rodri's the man. Don't get me wrong. In this generation.
Yes.
But N'Golo Kante.
Did he win the Ballon d'Or?
No.
Shush. Shush. Pipe down.
Look.
Done.
That's because there's not an array of talent to pick.
Oh, get out, man. Listen,
Rodri. Listen, fair play to him. He's a top player. But are you going to put him above N'Golo Kante?
Yes,
mate.
Come on.
That's a big call.
Come on. Look at him. Look at the team that he plays in, and he still runs it.
N'Golo Kante played for Leicester City. N'Golo Kante played for Leicester City and won the Premier League with Leicester City. Then goes to Chelsea. Straight away, goes and wins the league with Chelsea, mate.
Did he get Ballon d'Or?
Mate, it doesn't matter where.
Why didn't he get Ballon d'Or?
You should have got a Ballon d'Or.
Shush.
Just because you got a Ballon d'Or don't mean you're the best player.
What do you mean? What does it mean then?
It doesn't mean you're the best player.
Have you just said that winning the Ballon d'Or doesn't mean that you're best player? Is that what you just said?
Best player ever.
I never said best player ever.
In his position ever. So
he is.
No, he wasn't the best player ever in his position.
Alex,
I'm not having that.
Alex,
you got Michael Essien. Is he better than Michael Essien?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Rodri.
Boy, you're talking some fraff now. I'm not having this, man. I'm not having it.
I don't know where
Rodri's a good player just for this generation right now.
Can I speak to Alex?
No.
Yeah.
Not having it. Not having it. He's a great player. Great player. He's a great player.
Alex, I don't know where you're at with him, but I'm kind of resigned now that he is going to be a Real Madrid player. I think it's gutting for the Premier League because he is that good. And as well as that, he's just come good again. He had a bit of a season last season where he was getting over that knee injury. He's hit the World Cup.
Pep said that was going to happen.
He looks absolutely mint, and you're thinking, right, here we go again.
Pep said that was going to happen.
But he's off. I think he's going to be off to Real Madrid, mate.
Yeah, the odds say that, like I said, 7 to 25 to sign for Madrid, 5 to 2 now to stay at City. Obviously, he brought in Elliot Anderson.
Mate, I take Adam Wharton, Blackburn boy. Get him in there. That's absolutely.
I know. Well, you 1 to 3 to sign the young lad Bouadi, Moroccan central midfielder. So
good player.
Maybe you're looking ahead now to replace Rodri. Should he make that move across to Real Madrid?
Yeah, we've been speaking a lot about the boxing mate of the weekend, Joshua Fury. I'm sure you'll have some tasty little odds knocking about on that, given what you saw at the weekend, mate.
We do, yeah. I mean, I was listening to you this morning. I won't have you repeat what you've already talked about, but I did have a chuckle.
Come on, Al. Come on. Don't sit on the fence. Which one are you? Are you me, where Prenga's not that good and therefore couldn't take him out? Or are you Corley in on the conspiracy that somebody's had a little whisper in his ear? Right? So, come on. Where you at, Alex?
I'm certainly not coming on national radio and starting shouting some conspiracy theories.
I didn't do that.
To be fair, it was Paulie Malignaggi that started it all off this morning.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
He just dropped the bomb, didn't he?
Yeah, and then cleared off. He went back of a taxi in Sydney. He just went, yeah, boys, this is what's happened.
I want some of that.
Turned his Wi-Fi off just at the right time. He knew what he was doing. But yeah, we do have the prices up for that Fury Joshua bout. Fury is the current odds-on favourite around the 1 to 2 mark. Joshua just above even at 6 to 5, and the draw out at 12 to 1. Completely agree with what you've said already. It is definitely 7 years too late, sadly, but we'll all still tune in, won't we? What are your early predictions for that fight? How do you see it going?
Mate, if you'd have asked me this late Friday night and I said, right, Josh was going through him, and then I watched Anthony Joshua, I thought, oh
blimey.
no, I think it's going to be Tyson Fury's fight. I agree with the odds. I think it's tight. I think it is
50-50.
Listen, it's not 2018. We're in 26 now. These two guys are shadows of the former selves. I think it is slightly in favour of Tyson Fury, and the reason for that is because I just think he can take a shot at this stage of his life better than Anthony Joshua can take a shot. But having said that, though, if Joshua lets that big backhand go, it's going to cause some damage. But I would agree with the odds there, mate. I think Tyson Fury is a slight favourite going into it if they do get this over the line. I just hope, and I think this is the chat with everybody, I just hope British fans get it on British soil, because I don't think it resonates for the rest of the world. I think right now at this stage, this is a fight for British fight fans.
No, yeah, I completely agree.
We need some odds for that, where it's going to be. That's what we need some odds for.
we'll be pushing for the MGM Grand, obviously.
Yeah, there you go.
Will you get some freebies for that? Get Coley in there.
Get me in there, please. Gosh.
You'll be in the suite.
I just feel like I'm scrounging now. You know what I mean? What's going on here, man? I'm begging. Please, get me in the darts. Get me in the boxing, please. Anything will do.
You just come on for a party today, didn't you?
Yeah,
Fair play.
true.
Alex, top man. Appreciate
Cheers,
you,
Alex.
mate. Thank you very much for giving up some time to come and join us. Top man. Is he gone? Oh, did we lose him on signal?
Yeah,
He's allowed to say goodbye. You don't have to get rid of him. You don't have to pull his microphone from him as he's saying goodbye to the lads.
Bang out.
No sweat. Listen,
Yeah,
that's
you
all.
better just sort out them tickets, mate. That's what
You'll get the text in a minute. That's all in association with BetMGM. Visit betmgm.co.uk or download the app. You've got to be over 18. BeGambleAward.org.
It's showtime on talkSPORT with BetMGM. Keep things golden with responsible play at betmgm.co.uk. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Jurgen Klopp has today been appointed as the new national team manager. As a Liverpool fan, would you spend the money on Diamonde as a sort of up-and-coming prospect, or would you go for Barcola as the ready-made replacement for Mo Salah?
I'm not sure on Barcola. I'd probably Diamonde. I like him. But it's 110 million quid for potential. When you're paying 110 million quid for potential nowadays, I don't love that. And that's a problem. And that's where the market is, unfortunately. So it's a tough one. Liverpool have to replace Salah. They need wide players. Now they're talking about some player from Monaco who's probably would have been fifth choice at the start of the summer. So Liverpool fans would probably spontaneously combust if that's the only signing that came in those positions. I don't think they'll get Diamonde. I think that's PSG all over. So then you're going to go for Barcola now, who Arsenal want as well. Yeah. And he's a very, very good player, but he's not in the PSG side, is he? 99% of the time. So he's in and out. I don't know. I'm torn. Is there any other options, I would say, to the recruitment department of Liverpool?
Jurgen Klopp, by the way, just rounding off that conversation, one of his standout quotes today.
I love that.
I'm not doing this job for you. I'm for myself. I'm doing it for you, the German fans. I mean, he knows exactly what to say.
That wasn't the quote I saw. The one I like was, if you go after my family, I'm gone. If you think I'm rubbish, tell me to my face and I'll leave immediately. I love the way he's preconditioning the media to behave themselves and bow. In other words, I'm here. I'll do it my way. And for any reason I get sniff of anything from you or the fans, I'll just walk.
Good morning. You're listening to talkSPORT. I'm Adam Catterall. Carlton Cole is alongside me. Hopefully your day is going well so far. Thank you very much if you've participated in the show so far. And thank you very much for your company. Telephone line number is 03717 223344 if you want to get involved in this morning's show. And this might stimulate a bit of conversation north of the border, especially if you're a Celtic fan, because there's a lot going on there. They're set to break their transfer record in an 11 million deal amid obviously a little bit of fan unrest after the sale of fan favourite Des Maeda. He's gone to Ipswich, but we are being told that Kasper Hoch, the Bodo Glimt striker, is undergoing his medical with Celtic ahead of an £11 million move. To discuss this a little bit further, former Celtic striker Mark McGee is very kindly given up a bit of time to come and join us. Mark, how are you, mate?
Hey, Mark.
I'm great, thanks. Yeah, good guys. Good. Very good.
What do you make of this particular situation? First and foremost, the sale of the fan favourite in Maeda to Ipswich has obviously annoyed a few Celtic fans after back of winning the league.
I mean, quite often these sort of things, as you know, are out with the club's control. You know, once the player makes up his mind and once agents are involved and the pressures, you know, then build on that, there's an inevitability about it, you know. But I think what Celtic have done here is they've stepped up quickly, and I think this is a really, really good signing. I really do.
What do you know about him, mate? I'll be honest, I'm not too switched on with the main man at Bodo Glimt. What do we know about him?
Well, first of all, I think about your Carlton's the same as me. You know, I love proper, you know, centre forwards. You know, I like the Haaland type, if you like. You know, and I know that he's a bit of that. You know, he might be a poor man's Haaland, but he's a Haaland. He's got a lot about him. You know, he's I think he's probably about 6'1". He's not huge, but he's good in the air. And he's good in the air in both boxes. He can hold it up. He's got a good recent goal scoring record. He brings other people into play. He's good at all of that. I mean, I think he's a perfect striker when you're a team that play up against another team and you're, you know, getting in behind other teams and you play with wingers. He's a perfect player for that. I think he's made for Celtic at the moment.
What is the current situation with the fans and the board and everything there? Because I remember going up at the start of the year to the Old Firm and there was a lot of unrest and obviously a few things changed. Martin came back here and he managed to steady the ship and point it in a different direction. What's the current lie of the land? Yeah, the climate is the right word.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know I was up several times towards the end of last season and, you know, sitting in the director's box up to your left, there's a group of supporters there who just spend the whole time haranguing the board and all of that. So there's a lot of disquiet, you know, with certain aspects of the crowd, but of the support. But I think Celtic with a new chairman, with Brian Wilson, you know, stepping up, with, you know, Dermot taking maybe a little bit more interest in. I felt maybe I'm wrong, but I felt a little bit that it came a little bit from Dermot Desmond, maybe kind of not losing interest, but maybe not quite as focused on it as he needs to be the guy at the top. So I'm hoping that he's sort of back focused again, and that with Brian Wilson and making this sort of move as quickly as this, I think kind of hopefully it kind of demonstrates that they are on the ball and that they're back in that sense. But they do have the in-house sort of political kind of problems to solve, you know, and the quicker they do that, the better, and they can get back to being directly competitive with Rangers and not with their own fans. And with Hearts, of course, now again, I've had conversations this summer, and I've heard that Tony Bloom remains very ambitious for Hearts.
So the signing, well, the loss of Dyson Maeda, is it like for like, just for the football wise? Because I know you're saying he's a old school centre forward, but does he have the players to supply him? Because I know Dyson Maeda is a busy kind of character up there. He was closing down. Does Hock do that?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a tremendous work ethic. He really has. They don't need to, and he's used to playing in a team who make a high press. You know, you see both of them in the European games, high press, high energy. You know, he's used to that. That's what he does. So there are no problems doing that in the Celtic team. As far as Maeda, well, no, he's not a direct replacement. He's really nothing like him, you know. So they are going to have to get the ball to him in different ways. But I think he'll feed off of wingers. He'll feed off of crosses. But like that. He can hold it up. You can play the ball. It's a great way of getting out. You can play the ball up to him, and he'll keep the ball. Even at times, he'll roll people. He's a strong boy. He really is. I think he's suited to it. And the other thing I understand is that he's very ambitious. Although he's a late starter, he's very ambitious, and I think you can see this as a stepping stone to I'm sure that Celtic supporters will forgive me, to even greater things, i.e. the Premier League in England. But Celtic have a good history of Scandinavian strikers, not least of all obviously Henrik Larsson. So they've done well from Scandinavia before with strikers. So hopefully this one will
when does Celtic stop being the stepping stone for these decent players? Do you know what I mean? Like never. Have we come to accept? Have the fans accepted?
I think it's a money thing, isn't it? It's a money thing.
It's not just a money thing. It's also a competition thing. So it's fantastic to go and play. I mean, I played in Scotland for a big part of my career, and playing in the Scottish top division with Aberdeen and Celtic is fantastic. But equally, playing with Man United and Man City and these clubs is another level because of the competition, not because of Celtic. Celtic, Rangers, particular, are as big as any club in the south of England, or in the south. But the competition isn't as big. So the Premier League in Scotland doesn't have a patch on the Premier League in England, and therefore, players want to experience that, and that's why it'll always be a stepping stone.
Okay.
But Celtic can take great advantage of that, and of course, this boy has got good experience and has good pedigree in Europe, which Celtic also need.
Mark, was there actually a break between seasons? Because you lot are already back. You're back on Friday. I've seen that there's been cup games already. Did you just have a couple of weeks off, went to the World Cup, and then cracked on with the rest of the season?
Hearts has already played in Europe, haven't they?
Well, I think you've got to remember we didn't spend very long at the World Cup.
Fair enough.
We quite a break in between, not like some other teams. But no, what they've done brilliantly is they've used the early sort of League Cup games, as it's now. In a different thing as competitive pre-season games,
good.
And it works really, really well. I liked it. I do like it. So that's why it appears as if it's a bit like that. But in actual fact, you would have been playing pre-season. We used to play 8 pre-season games. Instead of that, you're playing maybe 6 League Cup games. So it's a good thing. But it does certainly appear that we're playing the whole season.
Do you know what that does as well? So the players that go away. So after when you finish your last game of this in the summer, the last game of the season, you got to go away, but you got to come back fit. So you have a responsibility as a player.
Switches them on.
Yeah, switches them on straight away. So it is nice, but it's not nice as a player because you want that. You don't get time to relax. But if you go up there, you got to work for your money, mate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But Carlton, the other thing is as well, of course, is that these days with the qualification that most of the Scotland teams have to go through for the early European competition, these games start really, really early. So they need to be back for the Euro. The teams that are playing in Europe need to be back early for that anyway. And of course, the other thing we do know is that maybe unlike, I don't know about you so much, Carlton, but certainly the guys I played with, we did take a bit of time to get fit again. After a break. But it's not like that now, of course.
I think I was the last of a dying breed.
Yeah.
All these boys are fit now. Like they live by it. So that's how it goes.
Mark, top man.
Well, I don't think you've ever had more than about 8% body fat, not like the rest of us.
Well, I think I'm on 8% now. I haven't played for 10 years.
Lucky you.
Mark, top man, thank you very much for your time, mate. Much appreciated.
Cheers,
I'm sure there'll be plenty more as we build up to the start of the Scottish Premier League season, which gets underway on Friday evening. Do stick with us. We're going back to the boxing in a moment or two. Matchroom CEO Frank Smith is going to be joining us on the show. Don't go anywhere.
Obviously, you've got Kai Havertz, who was missing for most of last season. He's back and available and can play either as your centre forward or off your centre forward, which again shows a little bit more congestion in that kind of attacking midfield role. So I think when you zoom out, bigger picture, the squad still has enough. It has a lot of depth. But I think the reason there's a bit of nervousness around the Arsenal fan base right now is because we see an opportunity. We win the league for the first time in 22 years. Manchester City have lost Pep Guardiola. He's moved on. Maresca's a great coach, but is he Pep Guardiola? I'm not sure he is. In fact, I'm certain he's not. You look at Liverpool, new coach starting the project again. Chelsea under Alonso, really good coach, but they're going to need time. Man United are not quite there yet. There's an opportunity for Arsenal to not just consolidate, but to take another step and dominate for a period of time. And I think that's why there's a nervousness around this transfer window. Last year, it was about, can we do the business to get us over the line? We've done that. Now it's about, can we do the business
Champions League?
Yeah, to consolidate our position and to dominate. And I think that's why people are quite anxious at the minute.
See, why can't all the Arsenal fans be like Harry?
Measured.
Don't be like Piers Morgan, Joel Bayer, Troops, all these prats that ruin it for the good Arsenal fans. I love speaking to you, Harry. Proper Arsenal fan.
Good on you, Harry.
Thank you very much, mate. But listen, every Arsenal fan's got their view, and we're a passionate bunch.
Even that,
and
you should be applauded.
Talk Sport.
Good afternoon with your sports headlines at 2 minutes past 12. I'm Hugo Chambray. Gianni Infantino's hit out at World Cup critics, writing, "May football rise above hate." One aspect of the FIFA president's Instagram statement was him having a pop at those who've criticised refereeing practices at the World Cup. He says it's curious that the same countries employing certain practices are the ones criticising. While talkSPORT's Alex Crook admitted it was a good World Cup overall, but...
Let's not pretend it was perfect. He also talks about bringing two countries at war together, uniting two countries at war. Says Iran entered the United States without incident or conflict. I think they would push back on that when you look at the travel restrictions that are imposed on their players.
Elsewhere today, talkSPORT understands Arsenal do have the finances to make Vini Jr. their highest paid player. No direct talks have taken place with Real Madrid, but the Brazilian has been made an option at the Emirates this summer. Troy Deeney doesn't think it's a great fit.
I don't think it suits the way that Arsenal play. I don't think his personality suits Arteta.
What do you mean his personality?
I think he's a massive diva in regard to like what he wants, what he needs.
Meanwhile, Xabi Alonso says he has a plan for Cole Palmer and Morgan Rogers to play together. He admits while Chelsea are still building, he's pleased with his transfers so far.
Well, we want to build a competitive team. For sure, we are in that process. We have great quality, great talent, and we need to know what it takes to compete in the Premier League.
Andrea Pirlo has confirmed he's no longer in the running to take charge of his national team. The Italian Football Federation were unhappy over his commercial ties to a Russian betting company, and ITV will broadcast every match of next year's Rugby World Cup in Australia. There's more at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
Teens on anxiety benefits are better off than part-time workers, and wildlife presenter and comedian Bill Oddie has died at the age of 85. Emma has more in half an hour.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. The big summer sale is now on, with great deals on a wide range of tyres. Visit quickfit.com and book today. Conditions apply.
Dry with sunny spells in the south. Northern areas see a few showers initially, then rain spreading east later.
Morning, it is mid-mornings on talkSPORT. I'm Adam Catterall Carlton alongside me, White and Jordan on holiday. You're more than welcome to come and join us at any point throughout the course of the next hour. 03717 22 33 Of course, we're talking transfers. Of course, we're talking football, everything that's going on in that world. But the big talking point, I suppose, off the back of the weekend is the boxing. On Friday night, Tyson Fury was in action out in Thailand against Marius Wack in a glorified spar. Came through that with a seventh round I will stop it, pull out, whatever you want to refer to it as. He got the job done within 7 rounds, and then obviously Anthony Joshua got off the seat of his pants on a couple of occasions to stop Christian Prenge in Saudi Arabia and get the job done there as well. And according to a lot of fight fans, that now points us towards one destination. The man that can shed a little bit more light on that and obviously give us his thoughts on what happened in Saudi Arabia is the Matchroom CEO, Frank Smith. Frank, giving up a bit of time to come and join us. How are you, mate? You good?
I'm good, thank you. Back in London. How are you?
Very well indeed.
How you doing, Frank, mate? You good?
Good to see you, mate. I was actually talking about you the other day because I used to have a West Ham season ticket. Everyone thinks I don't know about football, but you used to be one of my legends, mate.
Oh, Frank, that's not me. I'm not. Listen, we could cut the call here. Frank's a legend, mate, and he's saying that
is that what it takes? A little bit of praise and you're done?
Yeah, mate. Look, that's how, you know me, how I work.
Love
a
it,
little
mate.
bit of praise, I'm done, mate. You know?
Love it.
Little arm around me.
Listen,
That's out of me.
Listen, Frank, before I talk about, obviously, people's response on social media, what was your initial responses to what you witnessed on Saturday night with AJ and his performance?
Yeah, look, it's boxing. I said it in the interview the other day. It's heavyweight boxing. He got caught by a fighter who's had 20 knockouts. Yes, albeit Prenge wasn't a hugely recognised name prior to that, but you don't get 20 knockouts, without being able to punch. And that's boxing. And the reality is, as AJ showed, it's getting back up from that and building your way back into the fight and finishing it the way he did. Did I expect that in the first round? No. But he showed his heart, his determination, and everything that's got him to this point in the sport.
Are you into boxing conspiracies?
No, I mean, is Simon Jordan under the desk somewhere?
He's on holiday this week, mate. But I've got his tweet here.
Well, yeah, you've got Simon Jordan. You got the other guy.
Oh yeah, but Paulie Malignaggi was on a little earlier on as well.
Exactly.
He said a very similar thing. So basically, Simon wrote on X, I'm sure people have seen this, that he wasn't having the fight and that something was not quite right, as it was designed to rinse the maximum amount of money. Do you agree?
I mean, did he confirm any more? Has he spoken about it verbally?
I've not personally spoken to him, mate. I don't like to put words in people's mouths off the back of social media. No, I've not spoken to him about it, mate. I'm just going off what he's written on social media.
From what he's written, what he's suggesting is that the fight was in some way, I guess what he's trying to say is fixed.
Yeah.
So you think AJ got knocked down twice to then get back up and finish it like that? I mean, I was actually getting on with Simon Jordan for quite a while, but he does he does always find his way back into saying something stupid, doesn't he?
Yeah, but listen.
Come on, Corley. Listen, he's just praised you.
Frank,
you and Paulie Malignaggi were best mates 2 minutes ago. Go on, say it.
So, Frank, you just got. So for me, I'm not a boxing expert. I only see what I see.
Go on, Corley.
You look at it and I think, well, he went down a little bit too easy there. Now he's got to the point where, in the second round, I'm thinking this geezer's going to come in and steamroller him. That doesn't happen. And that's where someone that's not a boxing expert will look at that and think, well, that's a bit suspect, isn't it? That's for me. That's just, I'm not a boxing expert. I don't know how boxing goes. So I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, I'm not sure, mate. Then but then you've got Simon that backs that up, and then you've got Paulie that comes on, he backs that up too. And these guys are, well, they're better experts than me. Simon's not a boxing expert. I know he's not a boxing expert, but Paulie comes in and says the same, round about the same thing. I'm there. I'm left to the elements, mate. I've got to go. But then I've got my man to my right hand side, Adam, and he's telling me, nah, he sees it that way, and I can agree with that too. So I don't know. Guide me, please.
Adam is. I'm also, and I get a lot of stick for this as well. I'm also not a boxing expert. I'm an expert in the business of boxing. Adam is someone who I haven't always agreed with everything he said, but I accept he is an expert within the field of boxing, and I would take his word over Simon Jordan's any day of the week.
Okay, that's good.
He's praising me as well. You can't do that. Don't do that.
That's good to know. So now, do you understand where this has come from? And is it understandable for you, or is it a scenario where you think your head's in the clouds?
Well, it's the sport we're in. Ultimately, he got put down twice and he came back and he caught him with some big shots and he stopped the fight. It's not the first time it's happened. It won't be the last time it happened. And it's also why we love the sport we're in, because anything can happen at any moment.
Frank, let me ask you a little bit more. I suppose this is a bit more personal because you know AJ really, really well. That first round for any fan is incredibly worrying. The way, for me, I'm looking at that, and I think AJ's been hit with far harder shots in his career, and he's stood on his feet. whereas in this particular fight, it wasn't necessarily the case. We all know what he's been through over the last 9 months or so. Afterwards, when he was giving his post-fight interviews, he was very, very emotional. Do you think he came back too soon?
Look, I think you'll never know, is the truth. Was it quicker than maybe we thought? Yes. It was 7 months, obviously. But as he said in the ring as well, he could have, or in the post-fight press conference, he could have waited 12 months and come back and been in a similar position.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been in there if his body wasn't physically and medically ready to be in there. And he pushed one thing he did in this camp. And I'm not saying he hasn't done this before, but he pushed his body to the limits. He's been with the Usyk camp, and they pushed him to the limit in this fight and in the build up to this fight. But yeah, I think it's an impossible question to answer.
Okay.
Was it a difficult thing to come back for him? Of course, not just in his body, but mentally as well. And I don't think any of us will ever understand that completely as to what he's been through to get back to this point.
No, absolutely. With that then in mind, are you comfortable putting him in a fight with Tyson Fury next?
Yeah. I think you look at the performance of Tyson Fury on Saturday night. Was it a peak Tyson Fury on Saturday night? I think we're in a sport ultimately that, you're always judged on your last performance. And unlike football and other sports where you get to perform, twice a week maybe, and people can say you've had a good game, bad game, you're judged every 6 months, 9 months sometimes in these fighters' accounts. And are you going to have your best night every night? No, that's the reality of it. And we're all sitting here saying we want to see this fight. I believe Anthony Joshua knocks out Tyson Fury. You may have a different view to me, but that's what makes it great, is that we've all got different views and we all want to see the fight.
Yeah. Would you see this as a rebirth for AJ rather than, it was a bit dodgy. It didn't look great in the first round, but do you see this as a rebirth for him to get his confidence back, to get to the next level again?
Look, I think he's been through it all in this sport, hasn't he? He's seen it all. He's had the good times. He's had the bad times. He's come back from losses previously. He's come back from being put down. And we're in a sport where the aim is to knock the other person down, knock the other person out. So are you going to go into a fight and not get hit? Very unlikely. And the key is the result at the end of the day. I think he realises and how long this period of his career goes on for, whether it's 6 more months, a year, 2 years. That's yet to say.
Where's it happening?
Yeah, come on. Oh, we're losing Frank.
Are you there, Frank?
We've lost him.
Oh, mate.
That was the main question. Oh, no.
Let's see if we can get Frank Smith back on the line there, because I think that is the major talking point for a lot of fight fans.
Mate.
Off the back of what happened at the weekend. And Frank's right. Listen, Tyson Fury wasn't at his glowing best on Friday night against Maris Vac. Anthony Joshua most certainly wasn't at his glowing best, but it does seem now that everything's being pointed in that direction, that these two guys are going to be meeting each other. I think the majority of boxing fans and the conversations that we were having is all about location. Frank, it cut off beautifully right in time there as I was asking you about locations. He's very kindly back on the line.
Oh, he's back.
Where is this one going to take place?
As we've said multiple times, AJ has a contract for the fight to take place in the UK.
Yep.
There's not a venue set yet, as everyone knows. Of course, as soon as there is that detail, it will be announced. But as far as we're concerned, from an Anthony Joshua perspective, the contract is for the fight to take place in the UK.
Why has that changed? Why is that conversation then changed? If you guys have signed contracts and it's heading towards the UK, why is that now all of a sudden a different conversation happening?
I believe there's been suggestions about potentially moving to the US. Obviously, if that's the case, then the structure and the deal would change. Ultimately, we wanted to make the fight. We signed for the fight, and we'll see. We're working with Ring Magazine, Turki Al Sheikh on the event, and we'll see where things fall out. I'm not going to give anything away because I don't want to get myself in any trouble. But yeah, right now the contract is for the fight to take place in the UK.
And is that time-wise? Are you looking at the back end of this year, November time? So it was so heading towards that time.
around that sort of time frame. Q4 of 2026 is when it's agreed for, and I believe that's when we'll see it.
Okay, I'll give you some hypotheticals. You're obviously not going to give me yes or no's, but I'll give you some hypotheticals and see if I'm way off it. Is there a world that you can envisage where everybody comes to an agreement? They do Madison Square Garden, New York, for something in November where these two guys go at it, and then the British boxing fan might be rewarded April, May next year with a second contest, and they can bring it back and put it in front of British fight fans for them to enjoy that. Can you see that maybe playing out, Frank?
Anything's possible in boxing. Anything's possible.
Yeah, you're a good
I think you done you
did I tell you how much of a big fan I am of both you and Carlton?
Listen,
well, I can see that.
On that note,
I can see that.
Thank you very much for your time, sir. Much
Cheers,
appreciated.
Cheers, guys.
Frank Smudger.
There you go. Frank Smith, CEO of Matchroom Boxing, there, giving us a little bit of insight as to what happened at the weekend. Listen, the conversation is going to ride.
Yeah.
There's loads of people online talking about what happened at the weekend. Yes, the conspiracy theories are throwing up and that. I've said my piece on it. I said, listen, Prenga was brought in for a particular reason, and when he got presented with an opportunity, he didn't know what to do in that moment, and he allowed Anthony Joshua to recover, and Anthony Joshua did.
Look, this is a talking point. Everyone's talking about it.
Yes, they are.
It's done its job.
Absolutely.
It's done its job.
And I do still think, even though it is, it's not 2018, it's not 2019, I still think in 2026...
There's some value in it. Obviously.
There is some value in an Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury fight. People might disagree with me. I agree with all those
in the UK
that believe. Here's my take on it. It will be as exciting as it is uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
Given where those two gentlemen are at currently in their boxing careers. But my take is what I've just pitched to Frank.
Yeah.
I think we'll get one in America.
Yeah.
And then...
What one, though? First one or second one?
No, the first one. I think the first one will go to America in November. And then as an appeasement, a deal. We're going to America just to make the dough.
Yeah.
Everybody, don't worry. We're coming back in May for the second one. Whatever.
This is all the real fans.
There you go. That's how I think it might play out. But don't hold me to that. It is boxing, and it might change.
It's open.
You're listening to talkSPORT.
I think United want to move on. He's obviously on a hefty wage. I'm amazed Saudi haven't come in. I'm amazed he hasn't gone out to Saudi.
I think he won it.
Again, Saudi pay a lot more than 300 grand a week for a player obviously who's playing for England and still in his prime. Yep. I'm very surprised Barcelona didn't do the deal. But then again, I expected him to do well at Barcelona. Most, average wingers would do well out there, the team they have. I don't know where he goes. If you were a Spurs, would you go for him?
That's the one that keeps nagging away in the back of my mind.
We'll take him for a loan.
Yeah.
And if he plays 23 games, you know what I mean, we'll obviously pay this fee and that fee. What United are going to have to probably end up doing is recuperating as much of that fee back and all the loan fees they've had the last 2 seasons and the next 2 seasons. So I'm thinking Spurs. They've got a few more experienced Premier League players they've signed.
And De Zerbi's the type of manager that feels he can.
I'm not sure
he feels he can fix players.
I'm not sure he'd put up with
really.
And then you'd worry about the London life, wouldn't you? So
yes, you would.
There's all those things. Rashford is incredibly talented, and you look at him and go, what are you doing with your career? You should be dominating. You should be dominating world
Even
football.
that World Cup, he comes on, doesn't he, the first game, scores a brilliant goal against Croatia, arguably England's best performance in that second half. He played a part of that. Starts the next game, thinks the place out, and then never really gets his place back. Anthony Gordon becomes de facto left winger, not just for England, but at Barcelona as well.
And the place was there because Gordon wasn't good, you know, in game one. And it was there to be won. And you just look at Rashford and you go, you've got all the tangibles to be world class. What is the matter with you? But again, I would say he's been on nearly £500,000 a week for the last, since he's 23? Is it again too much too soon?
Keep your calls coming in. 03717 223344. It's Adam Catterall and Colt calling for White and Jordan on this fantastic Monday morning. Before we talk all things West Ham, let's get an update from the Commonwealth Games, shall we? John Cushing's across it for talkSPORT. John, what's going on, mate?
Yeah, morning, Adam. Oh, afternoon now, isn't it? Nick Devlin, Scotland's lightweight boxer, in the quarter-finals already. The 25-year-old who lives just 20 minutes from the SEC Centre in the centre of town won a split decision in the second round. He now faces Owen Harris-Allen, who won bronze for Wales 4 years ago. He won a unanimous points decision from the judges this morning, as did Caitlin Fryers of Northern Ireland, who won her women's flyweight bout. 13 home nation boxers in action today. Here at the Athletics at the Scotstoun Stadium, Sam Bennett and Tage Jura from Team England are both in tonight's 110-metre hurdle final. The 25-year-old Bennett won his heat in 13.20 seconds ahead of Jamaica's Jerome Campbell, and he told me afterwards he's going to catch up with his family who've come up from Southend before the final. Jura, who finished third in his heat, says he's going to sort out his start because it wasn't good enough. England's Elliot Jones and Jeremiah Azu of Wales are into the men's 100-metre semis tomorrow. It's the women's 100 metres right now. England's Mabel Akanda has won heat number 1 in 11:32. Amy Hunt for England is seeded, so she's gone straight through to the semis. More swimming tonight. We've got Adam Ramsey-Peaty in final action in the 50-metre breaststroke. Duncan Scott will also be in the final of the men's 200-metre fly earlier after his win in the heats this morning. If you fancy being here, tickets are still available. Check out glasgow2026.com. This is the Commonwealth Games, and it's live across the talkSPORT network.
Top man, thanks, John. I've actually just put the boxing on in the studio. I am concentrating. I will concentrate on the show. I'm just watching Hewitt against the Indian fighter in his contest at the Commonwealth Games. Best of luck to him. Let's turn our attention back towards the world of football, shall we? One of your boys, West Ham, Crescenzio Summerfield, has decided not to go to Roma, not to go to Manchester United. 24 years of age. He's gone, cheddar, cheddar, ching. I'm off. Gone to Saudi Arabia. What do you make of it, mate? The deal is what? 60 million, initial 55 for West Ham, further 5 on add-ons.
It's unbelievable business.
It is great money for you.
Great business.
Okay, come at it from two angles then. Come at it from West Ham's point of view and then come at it from the players' point of view.
Well, we knew that we would have to sell. Once you get relegated, you can't keep your best players, and he had a decent World Cup, so it kept his value, if not more, even higher than that we thought we was going to get. And look, Crescenzio's he was injured for quite a while, and then he came back and he just came in the team and he made a massive difference. Then he went to the World Cup and he's put added price on his value. So it's worked out brilliantly for West Ham to get his value up for one, and to get some money in once we've been relegated. So it just helps us keep the ship afloat, you know.
From his point of view.
From his point of view, he wanted. I think his first pick was probably Roma, because he wanted to go and play in Italy, and they were the first out of the trap to try and get this deal done. But obviously they couldn't meet up with the value. And once a team can't do it, and then you look at the numbers for you personally, and then you compare it to the other team that's over in Saudi that can come to the table and put the money down exactly what you want, and the club, and everyone's happy, then sometimes your personal thing, does he want to really play for Roma that much where he's going to disrupt everything? Probably not. You know what I mean? But he would have preferred to go to Roma. But he's gone to Al Hilal. And it works out best for everybody and him. And it's not a bad league to go and play in. He's got some of the best players in the world playing over there. You know? So, yeah, for him, he's there. He can fill his pockets a little bit, get better, get to the next level, and hopefully get a move if he's got... Because he's still young. He's fairly young. Yeah,
24.
So he's got.
When you talk about level, though, I mean, it is a lot lower level.
Of course it is. But Ivan Toney's over there. He's still got to a World Cup, you know, for England. So it doesn't. It's looked at. That league is looked at now. It's not like it's not considered. It's you got players going over there that actually can still have a future internationally, even if they go there. So it's all right. So for him, he's looking at it, well, if I go there, I'm not going to be ostracized. I'm not going to be out of the international pitch, and that's one thing that he wants to do, because he just actually made his World Cup debut, and he done brilliant. I think he scored 2 or 3 goals. He was brilliant, you know. So I'm happy for him. Well done, and he's put some money in West Ham's pockets as well. So perfect.
The thing is, initially, when this started happening a few years ago, I think most people would look at it and go, selling out. And I don't think there's a problem with selling out. At the end of the day, what are you going to work for?
What is selling out?
What are you in the game for?
Money.
Right? Most people will say,
for the love of the game, yes.
Yeah.
And money.
Right.
And be happy.
Yeah. Right. Most people will look, when they're a kid, you dream of what? Winning the Champions League, winning the Premier League, winning the FA Cups and all these types of things.
Yeah.
These are the legacy moments. These are the things that people dream towards, right? But when you get an adult, in real terms, trophies ain't paying your bills and your mortgage. Legacy's not paying your bills and your mortgage. Pound notes are paying your bills and your mortgage. So therefore, you've got a real decision. At 24 years of age, if someone comes along and says, right, mate, you can go here for this amount of money, or you can go here and do the same job. Actually, it's an easier job because you might even be a bit more of a star in this particular team, and we're going to pay you more dough. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I have no problem whatsoever with players choosing.
Back in the day, if it did affect your international prospects, players wouldn't go abroad, especially from England. Go abroad to like Europe even. England players never used to go abroad. So now, what's happening now, because it used to affect you internationally. So if you played out of the Premier League, you won't get into the international team. That was in my days. Well, I know it's mind-boggling. Now we've grown from that. Now you're getting even English players going abroad to Germany, going to different places.
Wait, the England captain plays in Germany?
Yeah, because it's cool now. But there was a point where sometimes even your best players in the English, if you used to go abroad, someone at the FA might say, it's better to stay over here. We prefer if we can see you week in, week out, so we can keep an eye on you, so we can go to the World Cup or whatnot. So you got a better chance of playing.
How short-minded is that?
No, but that's how it used to be. That's how it used to be, and it's just the way it was. You know what I mean? Like, even if I wanted to go, even me, if I would have never.
So it would hinder you making a decision. Say, for example, Inter Milan come in, Carlton come and play for Inter Milan. You go, well, hang on a minute, I just need to.
Well, it depends how valuable you are to the English squad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you're an England international, or you're on the cusp of getting into that England.
Yeah, and
team,
you go away, you wouldn't be looked at.
All right, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's not the case.
That's how it used to be, but that's not the case now.
So this decision of him going to a league that isn't one of the top leagues, let's be dead honest about it. It's not a top league.
Yeah.
You've got some all right players in there, but it's not a top league.
Jordan Henderson would have never, if he didn't think he could get back into the England team, yeah, he would have never gone to Saudi if he thought. But he could.
Yeah, but he made the decision to come back.
Yeah, exactly, because he probably been told you probably need to come a little bit and play competitiveness. The competitiveness that needs to grow. And you need to go to, like, say, a European team so we could keep more of an eye on you. And then he probably had conversations with the next manager, who was Tuchel at the time, and then he came back to England. And that's how he got into
Yeah, but
England.
Ivan Toney's playing out there.
Yeah, but Ivan Toney's a goal scorer, is different, and he's the closest thing we've got to Harry Kane, like that ilk of that type of striker. So I look at it, it's a little bit different now. So some people can go there and go and have a good time and still be an international prospect.
The point that I was making is I don't understand why people get on their high horse with players about them choosing dough. You're only here for a short time. It's a short career, isn't it? You might get injured next week and you might not play ever again.
I know.
These things are real. Take the dough.
Yeah, but it's the fantasy of it, isn't it? It's like...
Yeah, but come on, man. Let's live in the real world. If you're 24 years of age and someone comes along and says, right...
24 is a bit young going... Like,
Why? Why is it? You might get injured next week.
Remember going to China? China was the one before.
Yeah.
If you said you're going to China at a young age, people look at you like funny.
Yeah, but you're getting weighed in.
Yeah, I know now, but I'm just saying that was the climate then. But now it's more open to it. People are more open to it. You can go there and just fill your pockets, have a nice time, and maybe you might, if you've got a good agent, you might be able to get back into Europe. You know, so it's I think it's good for football. And it keeps everything competitive. So even the market's even better. Because now, Saudi can actually afford our players in the Premier League. They can play for 40 to 60 million for a player. Sometimes they wanted these players on a free. But now they're actually putting money into the kitty to get a marketable player like Somerville. So it's good. It's good for the sport.
And hopefully you'll get to reinvest that dough on a couple of replacements. You've kept Jared, which is good.
Well, that's like a big money signing for us.
Of course it is.
Do you know what I mean?
Jared Bowen playing in the blooming championship
and captaining the team. Like it's brilliant. And then we've still got players to hold on to as well. We've still got players to hold on to.
You've only lost Fernandes in Somerville, haven't you?
Yeah, Fernandes was for that. But look what we've made. Massive, great business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I look at it as well. We've got the youth. We've got a few more assets as well. But do we need to sell them now? Because now we've done that. Do we actually need? Are we desperate to sell? Just depends if the player wants to go or not. And I think these boys have got good attitudes to try and stay and stick around and get up in the first time of asking in that league. And it is pressure for Nuno. Don't get me wrong. It is pressure, but I think he needs the tools to go out there and do what he needs to do best. And that's to get us up at the first time of asking. Because once it gets into a second season and you haven't gone up, it's really difficult.
Keep your calls coming in. We're taking more morning. 03717 22 3344. It's mid-mornings on talkSPORT.
Good morning, lads. Yes, very, very good.
Oh,
About Joshua.
Go on, mate.
The final weekend, perhaps I didn't even bother to watch it. It's farce, isn't it? And as for him and Fury, I tell you, if they was fighting in my back garden, I'd draw the curtains.
Oh, wow. Oh, come on, man.
Come on, you're better than that.
Are you telling me you wouldn't even have a peek through those curtains? Just a little look?
He drew the curtains.
I'd say it was them two idiots out there and close them tight. I can't be doing with it. Anthony Joshua, he's done what he's done, but let's face it, he's no world beater, is he? He went down like a pot of jelly against that little fat Mexican. And, you know, whenever he steps up, he won the title against the worst champion ever in Charles Martin. Now, come on, you know, he fought an aging Klitschko, right? Whenever he steps up, he gets knocked out by Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois gets scored. I went to see Joshua against the champion, you know, what's his name, Usyk, at White Hart Lane. And Usyk absolutely schooled him. And, you know, we're looking at two
Yeah, but
fighters
Usyk
now.
does that with everyone, Al. Usyk is the best of this generation. He does that with everybody. Anthony Joshua's been in the most amount of heavyweight world title fights of this generation, mate.
Yes, but poor world title fights.
But he can only do what's put in front of him. I mean, this generation hasn't been the generation of the 1990s or the 1970s, has it?
No, you're 100% right. He can only do what's put in front of him. They put Tyson Fury in front of him 7-8 years ago, and Eddie Hearn turned it down, didn't want to know.
talkSPORT News.
Good afternoon, it's Emma Kerwin with your headlines. Teenagers claiming sickness benefits for anxiety are getting £100 a week more than those working a part-time minimum wage job. That's what The Times has revealed. There are now more than 87,000 16 and 17-year-olds claiming PIP. Minister Hamish Falconer says the figures are concerning.
I do know that there are an increasing number of young people on PIP, and what really worries me when young people don't get into work early in their life, it often gets much harder to get into work later in life.
A man and a woman have died after being pulled from the water at a beach in Cornwall yesterday evening. Elsewhere, a man drowned after getting into difficulty in the sea in Sussex. The next 24 hours have been called crucial as a wildfire races towards the French city of Bordeaux. More than 360,000 people have now been evacuated across both France and Spain due to blazes. Rebecca Papin, a mum of two, is 40 miles away from the flames.
I'm in the danger zone, so even though 3,000 people returned to Biscarrosse last night, no one has returned to my zone because I'm in one of the most dangerous parts.
And wildlife presenter and comedian Bill Oddie has died at the age of 85. He found fame in the 1970s as a member of comic trio The Goodies. His agent says he passed away on Saturday.
talkSPORT Sports Headlines with Bostik. For workable, easy-to-apply mortar that tools easily, pros trust Bostik.
Infantino tells World Cup haters to meditate and pray. And Italy continue their manager search after writing off Pirlo. Hugo has more at 1.
Morning. You are listening to talkSPORT. I'm Adam Catterall. Carlton Cole alongside me. Time to turn our attention towards Italian football now. Giving up a bit of time on this Monday afternoon. Daniele Fisichella, Italian football correspondent. Daniele, welcome. How are you?
Hi, good morning. Very well, thank you.
Right, let's talk about this managerial situation, because Sky Italia are reporting that Italian politicians have urged the Italian FA not to appoint Andrea Pirlo because of his role as a global ambassador to Russian betting website FonBet. What's the latest with all this, mate?
The latest that is Pirlo himself has posted on social media earlier this morning, saying that he has followed the development of the story with great bitterness, and he understands he's no longer in the running to become the national coach. So the Pirlo name is completely burned. He's off. He's not going to manage Italy. And the story developed very, very quickly yesterday when the first news about his link with this Russian betting company and also the involvement of Andrea Pirlo in a testimonial match in May in Russia, in Moscow, with other players, other former players, as well as Marco Materazzi, Artem Dzyuba, former striker of Russia. But of course, it was an event, a very pro-Russian event. And then after that, the news spread, and it was clear that the FA, the head of the FA, newly elected, Giovanni Malagò, was no longer keen on Andrea Pirlo. The politics got involved, and when it starts like that, it becomes all very messy. The only question mark now is whether the newly appointed technical director of the Italian FA, Paolo Maldini, who was the main sponsor of Andrea Pirlo, alongside Leonardo, the Brazilian, whether those two men are going to stay or are they going to leave the job, because Maldini, of course, gambled everything and wanted Pirlo so badly. But, Maldini is one that he either gets his own way or is the highway. So he might leave as well.
How embarrassing is this for the Italian FA? Because, like you said, they've only just brought in Maldini last week. And if he's threatening to go off the back of Pirlo not getting the gig,
looks strange, doesn't it?
It doesn't. It's not a good look.
We are scraping the barrel, really, of embarrassment. This is the last straw. I mean, if not qualifying to 3 World Cup was not enough, I mean, not having found a manager after so many months. I mean, look at what happened to Germany with Klopp, to France with Zidane, Portugal, Croatia. They found a new manager straight after the World Cup. Italy had been looking for a manager since the end of March, since they lost the playoff against Bosnia. But the main issue here is that, first of all, probably nobody really checked this storyline linking Pirlo with the Russian betting, although he was very well known. Probably people underestimated the backlash from the public opinion, but also he has to be said that Pirlo was never a popular appointment anyway. Actually was the least favorites by fans, media and pundits alike, because of his lack of international experience, because his only senior experience in Serie A with Juventus back in 2022 has not been great, was disappointing. He's always been picture Pirlo like somebody that is destined to be a great coach, as if he was after being a great player. But hasn't been the case so far. So there were obviously managers that were more qualified than him. And then there's been, so probably he should not have been given the job in the first place, but not because of his links with Russia. I mean, probably this is only is just an excuse. We are on the back of a World Cup that has been extremely commercialized, and we know when the border between politics and sport has been crossed. So sometimes we don't have to make the morale in a way. But I think in terms of footballing terms, Pirlo was never been the first choice. And then, of course, there was all the saga with Pep Guardiola first and Carlo Ancelotti second, which of course they don't make the Italian FA look really good or look very desirable anyway.
Yeah, look, I went to see Como play last season. Fabregas doing a great job over there. But I was looking at it, I was thinking, what is your your FA doing about like the youth setup and the player pool that you have to choose from, and how can Italy get back to the high life again? Because Italy, me growing up, it was unbelievable. The league over there, Serie A, was like, that was the main league that everyone loved to watch. It was so exciting. How do you get to those times again? And does it come from the youth setup?
He does, and by watching Como, you might have noticed, Carlton, that there's hardly any Italian player in the lineup. Yet they did really, really well.
I watched them against Empoli.
Yes. Well, Empoli must have had few Italians because they play in Serie B.
Yeah.
But yet, that's probably where you find the most Italian young players in the second division, in the third division.
Yes.
The problem is that the production of talent has stopped, also because Serie A teams have stopped taking gambles and taking risks by playing young players early, give them opportunity. That's why the project of the Italian FA was to hire a national coach that could oversee a rebuild, a restructure, a 10 years plan that would involve also the way players are scouted, more resources destined to centers, some are similar to the ones that there are in England, or some like similar to St. George's Park, where players are nurtured, scouted, trained in a certain way and according to a certain profile. In Italy, it looks very patchy, it looks very scatty, and obviously because Italian teams are pursuing the immediate success, it might pay off every now and then, but of course in the long term. That's why Italians are not producing anymore the sort of players that nowadays are different makers, wingers, pacey wingers, the likes of Olise, Diomande, Barcola. We don't seem to produce them anymore. And when it comes to defenders, well, not at all, because now
you're known for defending. You're known for defending. I don't see anything coming through.
We don't have any. Maybe we have a few goalkeepers that are still decent, but I think we have lost completely away because Italians have started coping the others without really having a clear project career structure. So it's back to the drawing board. Let's see who the new manager is going to be. Probably he might be one between Antonio Conte and Roberto Mancini, unless there is a surprise name. But if he's one of those two, he will look like a quick fix rather than a long-term project.
Just quickly away from the national team, because I've seen plenty of rumours regarding the free agent that is John Stones being linked to various Italian sides. I think there was one to Inter Milan, there was one to Juventus. What is the latest? Have you got any news on that? Is John Stones on his way to Italy?
Juventus are the one more keen at the moment on John Stones. There are two major issues there. One, of course, is the wage. Juventus have got a wage bill cap at 6 million euros, which is way below what John Stones earns. But also, Juventus have some reservations about the physical conditions of Stones himself, who has missed around 50 games in the last 2 seasons for Manchester City due to injuries. He would be a great profile for them. They love to play with a back three. And of course, they need somebody very, very experienced. When it comes to Inter, on the other hand, they are pursuing Christian Romero at the moment, which is not a free transfer. Tottenham are asking for 50 million euros. Inter would probably offer less than that because they know the player might be happy to join. Also, Lautaro Martinez, the captain of Inter, Argentinian, might be able to put up good words and convince Romero to come back to Italy. It's a place where he has already played when he's playing at Juventus and Atalanta. The problem, again, is the wage. Romero earns 6.5 million per euros. It's quite to the border, really, to the limit of what Inter can afford. But between the two business at the moment, to me, Romero seems more likely because Inter so far haven't signed absolutely anyone.
Top man. Daniele, thank you very much for your insight this morning, mate. Much appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
You're listening to Jim White and Simon Jordan. Not necessarily them. That's the name of the show. It's me, Adam Catterall, and Carlton Cole on talkSPORT with Selco Builders Warehouse. Check out this month's real deals at selcobw.com.
Vinny Junior's situation is interesting because I think when it came out of the weekend that Arsenal were keen, we all thought, well, how can they do that deal? He's on 400 grand a week. He'd smash Arsenal's pay structure.
Yeah.
Real Madrid, even though he's stalling on signing a new contract, are going to want a six-figure sum. But if they sign Diamonde, as looks likely, how do the two fit into the same team? And I think what's really interesting here, and Ben Jacobs, I think, has mentioned this a couple of times, they've got the same agent, Vinicius Junior and Yan Diamonde. So would his agency take Diamonde to Real Madrid knowing that he's going to compete with Vinicius Junior? I don't think Vinicius Junior to Arsenal is as fanciful as maybe it first appeared.
Now, when you look at Arsenal, they probably would. They've just got rid of Trossard.
Yeah, Trossard's gone.
Gone. So that's a space need, and they've only got Martinelli on that left-hand side. So they do need somebody else. Who is that person that's going to be able to fill in that space for them? Because there's not a large selection around the world, is there, Quickie?
No, I thought it would be Morgan Rogers, to be honest. I thought that deal would get done. I know he met Mikel Arteta even before jetting out to the World Cup, and Arteta had made him a top target, but fair play, Chelsea came in and gazumped them. I'm not sure Arsenal would have paid £117 million anyway, but clearly they have got a hole in the squad. As you say, they've let Trossard go for a relatively modest sum, really, £17 million for a player. I think he scored some key goals, particularly last season. Seems a little bit on the cheap side, but I think they're going to do something sensational, and it could well be that Vinicius Junior is the man, because you're right. There's not.
Good afternoon. It is talkSPORT. I'm Adam Catterall. Carlton Cole alongside me. To finish off the show, let's talk a little bit about one of the hot transfers that is currently going on in the world of football. Now, obviously, people get upset when players leave their team. People get upset when managers leave their team. What about set-piece coaches? That's the big story.
The big story.
Well, it is. Austin McPhee, I'm sure that you will have seen him throughout the course of the World Cup doing his role for Portugal, but last season he was doing his role for Aston Villa. We are told that he's on the brink of joining Chelsea, 46 years of age. He's been doing the set pieces. He oversaw Villa's 29 set piece goals last season, which is the joint most in Europe with Arsenal. Villa fans incredibly unhappy. Obviously, it has become a bit of a specialist now, hasn't it?
Mate, I'd like to see
the creativity of corners.
I'd like to see the stats, like on how many set pieces Aston Villa scored from.
29.
So 29, and you're saying it come from this guy, McPhee.
He was the set-piece coach, mate. He was the guy on the training ground drilling them, saying, right, stand there, do this, and all this type of stuff. The creativity regarding free kicks and
so basically, what Chelsea are buying is 29 goals.
Well,
in and around.
Well, yeah, he directly affected 29 goals last season for Aston Villa, yeah, which is the joint most in Europe.
Blimey. There's a gap in the market for this. There's got to be more McPhees around.
So what are you saying? Don't do
me and you could do this.
Don't.
Me and you could do this.
Get down the old Sunday playing fields, mate.
Mate, set pieces, man. I remember back in the day. There was this one set piece, right?
Can I just ask you a question on this, right, before you tell us the story of the specific?
Yeah.
How much time of your training week would be spent on set pieces?
Depends who the manager is.
Okay. So give me some examples.
Sam Allardyce would want to spend a bit of time on there.
What's a bit of time? Give me. It
would be like at the end of training, maybe 20 to half an hour, 20 minutes.
Every day?
No, like probably 2 or 3 times.
And would that be in your schedule? So say like Tuesday, we're practicing free kicks, boys.
Yeah, it'll be at the end of the training session.
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't be at the start of it. Like.
And have you been with managers that don't do it at all?
Yeah, been with managers that you breeze over it.
All right.
Okay. So you're standing there, you're standing there, you're standing there. Make sure you pick up your man, or if you're doing zonal, this is how we want it.
All right.
So then you're not. Then you'll have second team coming in to go up against you.
This does feel a little bit NFL, you know, like special teams, like you have a specific team for a specific.
Well, you just read out the stats, 29 goals.
Yes.
So that's a lot of goals in a season.
Yes.
So if you got someone that can specialise in just bringing them 29 goals to the fore,
defensively as well, it's obviously stopping.
Yeah, but you're bringing 29.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that his role is obviously offensively and defensively.
Of course.
From set pieces.
Of course. So if you can keep the ball out the net and add to it 29, that's his job. So he's saying, listen, we are going to defend it well, but I'm also going to give you 20-odd goals.
When you were playing, did you have a set-piece specialist coach?
It would always
just
be
your manager?
No, it would always be like the assistant manager that will take it, or the goalkeeper coach.
The goalkeeper coach would come out and do it?
Yeah, because it's a big thing for them.
All right. When did this become a big thing? When was this a thing?
Obviously, when I retired.
You do see them, like whenever we get a free kick now, you see the coach come out, doesn't he? He comes out to the touchline to implement whatever he's implementing.
Sometimes it'll be the third coach, like the assistant. So at West Ham, we had Kevin Nolan. He was in charge of the set pieces.
Yeah, but was that his singular role?
No, it wasn't his singular role.
Right, so he was doing many things.
Yeah,
and then, can you do free kicks as well?
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
This geezer's set pieces.
That's it.
He's a set piece man.
He don't even watch training. He just comes out at the end. He rolls up at the end of training. Right, boys, you're with me now?
Yeah.
Let's go. Maybe, I don't know. It might be different. I don't know what the landscape looks like, but if that is a role, I think me and you can go and do that. Yeah? We'll just copy we'll leaf out of his book. What is he doing?
Mate, what happened to put it in the mixer?
What? Put it in the mixer?
Just put it in the mixer. Get some 6'6" guys, send your centre halves up, put it in the mixer. What happened to that?
I don't know, mate. It's gone wonky.
It has gone wonky. Well, it's obviously working because like 29 goals. That's a big coup for Chelsea. Does this give you some direct indication of the direction, or maybe they
just want to build organisation?
Yeah, the meticulous nature of Alonso to say, hang on a minute, this is where English football's at right now. Let's have a look at who won the league last year
and how
Arsenal did incredibly well at this. Maybe we need to compete in that sector too. Who's the best guy at it? This guy at Aston Villa. Let's get him on board.
He was at Portugal World Cups. They've got him in for a reason. So yeah, so there must be a thing with that now. And fair play to McPhee. He's created his own lane. Do you know what I mean? And Arsenal's got one. What's his name? I've forgotten his name. Arsenal's got one too, and
Nicolas Jovert.
Yeah. So they've got him. And you see him at the side on the sideline when the goal goes in. He's celebrating more than the manager. Do you know what I mean? Because he's just it's accomplished something. They've worked on it, and when it does come off, it's amazing. So there's a market for it now. So I think other teams will be looking at this and thinking, do you know what? We need to actually go for a specialist that's actually done the stats, done all the hot spots, where to be, the position of maximum opportunity, where to score, where to put the ball, and obviously, you have to work on the delivery as well. So the delivery is the main thing. You can't just have the players in there, just standing there and the ball don't come to him.
Yeah.
The delivery has to be bang on all the time. So they've got the stats for it. So fair play to it. They've made their own lane.
Well, Villa have lost one of the players in Morgan Rogers to Chelsea, of course. They're now losing their coach here. If you're a Villa
Imagine
fan,
that. if you've just bought Morgan Rogers and McPhee goes along as well. That's brilliant.
Not for Villa fans, though,
I know. But
if you're a Villa fan, how are you feeling right now? You must be a little bit concerned going into the new season.
To get a replacement. You got Unai Emery. He's a ledge. He knows what he's doing.
I know that.
Unai's at the wheel, mate.
But you've just said that you've just added 29 goals to Chelsea.
They'll have to find
You've just taken 29 goals out of Villa.
They'll have to find another one. They've got the format.
They don't grow on trees, these fellas, mate.
I think they do.
You reckon it's?
I told me and you could go and do this.
You reckon this is an easy gig? You reckon organising and it being effective? You reckon organising corners?
Well, you need a bit of data. You need a bit of data behind you,
right?
So you get the computer.
Well,
get the computer out. Get the computer out. Yeah.
You don't Google take a corner,
mate. Yeah, you can.
You reckon this fella's just gone on AI, done a little bit of a plug-in, giving it the right prompts?
Yeah, where's the hot spots? Where's the hot spots to put the ball in? Where is it? Front post? Is it back post? Or is it middle of the goal?
Is that what you reckon he's done?
Get the delivery right. Where do we go? How am I going to run? Am I going to go and block the keeper? Am I blocking the first man? Yeah? You put the ball in. I'm going to screen you. So I'll block him. You come from behind me. Bosh, goal. Simple. You know what I mean? It's not rocket science, pal. You know what I mean? Like, come on. And And listen, defending on
Coley's
it.
going to turn up at Villa.
Hey, listen.
He's the new free
And then
kick coach.
defending wise, listen, just get your head on it. Clear it. Clear it. What are you doing?
Can you imagine
Be
this?
brave. Be brave.
Listen, Villa, if you're listening,
yeah, I'm your man.
Give us a
Come to me. Listen, I'm just on my
Get him in.
That's the interview done.
I want him in as your free kick coach, and I want to film the session where he tells everybody, just stick your head on that.
Yeah, mate, they'll be losing 29 goals, not gaining them.
Absolute scenes, mate.
They call me the decreaser, not the increaser.
Listen, top man, appreciate your company as always, mate. What are you on with the rest of the week? You busy?
Well, I've started like this. I've just got to go on.
You got to keep doing a bit.
Yeah, got to go make that bread, mate.
Man's out making bread throughout the whole course of the week. Listen,
crack on, mate.
Make sure you stick around for talkSPORT. There's plenty more to come throughout the whole course of the day. I'm back tomorrow. I believe your old mate Kevin Nolan's actually with tomorrow. He's doing a bit tomorrow.
Nobby,
they're all
geezer.
They're all putting in a little bit of a shift.
Yeah.
Listen, it's Johnny Owen and Sean Dyche coming up next. Make sure you stick with us right here on talkSPORT.
I've read this a couple of times now. I can't help but think when he comes up with lines about people criticising the refereeing decisions and puts lines in his quotes such as "I'm sorry you missed it all," I can't help but think there's a little dig towards the head of UEFA there, Alexander Seferin.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Obviously, Seferin decided to stay away from the World Cup final, which was quite unprecedented. FIFA were briefing, actually, that was a pre-planned decision, but the message coming out of UEFA very much was that it was a protest by their president. Actually, I picked out a couple of screenshots, and he does talk about some of the refereeing decisions and says it's curious the same countries employing these practices are the ones criticising. He's talking about the decision to overturn Flo Balogun's red card, which for me was probably the most shameful moment of this World Cup. And I'm not going to be a hypocrite, Andy. You were there. Troy obviously lives out in the States. I had a wonderful 5.5 weeks. I thought it was a brilliant tournament. I thought the American hospitality was terrific. But let's not pretend it was perfect. He also talks about bringing two countries at war together, uniting two countries at war. Says Iran enter the United...